It is the 1-0 Birdville Hawks hosting the 0-1 Grapevine Mustangs. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast booth. Brendan Smith with you, along with Austin Taylor this evening. We are high atop Birdville ISD Stadium, getting set for these two in what should be a good matchup. Two teams that didn't have the years that they wanted last year, but have higher expectations. This Birdville team coming off a big win last week, Grapevine a heartbreaking loss, but two teams that have something to prove here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at week one and you look at 29-28 for Grapevine, just barely coming up short, and then a pretty close win on the other side for Birdville as well. So, seeing two teams that had very hard-fought games week one always makes for an exciting week two matchup. Yeah,
last week it was Grapevine who found themselves down at halftime. Were able to roar back, falling just 1 point short. And then for Birdville, they fell behind 20-0 last week before scoring 34 unanswered points to pick up the victory. Chris Smith, in his second year as the head coach at Birdville, they went 3-7 last year. They start off with the win here this year. And then, of course, for Grapevine, first-year head coach and Ryan Smith takes over for head coach Bob DeBess, as Smith wants to control the fast on offense. And he always talks about he wants 12 to 15 different guys to touch the football. They didn't quite get to that number last week. They had 10 guys touch the football, but Jalen Holmes at the helm, they're going to look to spread it around to a bunch of different weapons.
Yeah, anytime you can get 4 touchdowns week one, especially coming off of a long spring ball and summer fall practice, week one normally is a week where some teams really find it tough sledding to get off the snide a little bit, but anytime you can put up 28 points in a week one matchup looks good. So I'm sure Coach Smith and company will look to score a little bit more than that tonight and a little bit more than the opponent.
Yeah, a little bit of about 10 minutes or so away from getting this thing started, Grapevine and Birdville. It's Jalen Holmes at the helm for the Mustangs, and kind of did a little bit of everything last week. Was able to run for 67 yards, threw for 143 yards as well. Had 5 different receivers touch the ball. There were 3 different running backs that touched the football as well. Jalen Holmes is going to be countered on the other side by Zach Wells, the junior quarterback for Birdville, coming off a 3-touchdown performance last week against Crowley. He's got a little bit of a different philosophy than what you see from Grapevine. Birdville doesn't have as many players that touch the football. In fact, they had just 6 outside of their quarterback, Zach Wells, that touched the football offensively last week for Birdville. Grapevine getting set to take the field, as these two are just about set for action at Birdville ISD Stadium, as we will take a look and watch Grapevine take the field as they get set for action here in Birdville.
Can y'all see anything?
And here come the Mustangs. Well, Grapevine roster coming in after a performance offensively, as Austin talked about, able to put up some points. They put up 27 there in that first game. Trying to pick up their first win since the 2023 season. And it's something that with the new head coach and a fresh batch of players, they're ready to get off that schneid, so to speak, and turn this thing around.
Yeah, 100%. You probably can motivate yourself, one, knowing that the program hasn't won a game in that long, but two, even looking back to last week, you were so close. You're playing a team that is formidable. Obviously, that if you put your best foot forward, play your best football, you can walk out of here with a W tonight. If that doesn't inspire you, then I don't know what will, but it should be a great, interesting chess match. Again, to go to your point earlier, like you said, Birdville, a team that doesn't spread it out as much. Grapevine, a team that likes to spread it out to everybody. It'll be interesting to see how these two Smith head coaches, if you will, try to kind of dice up the other one this evening.
As Birdville coming out of their locker room, they're about set to take the field. You talked about that Birdville offense. Their leading receiver last week had just 76 yards. It was Braylon Montoya, but he did pick up a couple of touchdowns. With Zach Wells, he had the 3 scores, but only 165 yards through the air. He did rush the ball as well 6 times, and he picked up a touchdown as well. It's his second year as the starter. Same for Jalen Holmes on the other side, but Birdville as their captains walking out to the middle of the field. They'll be joined by the Grapevine captains. The rest of the team has not quite taken the field yet. So we'll see who gets the ball to start off this Thursday night matchup in Birdville.
Can't ask for a whole lot more. A little warm this evening. We know a cold front's coming to DFW area. Eventually cold, as in maybe upper 80s, but it should be the last hot one on the schedule, which is a nice treat for these teams that normally are playing in the 90s, even 100s, sometimes into October.
Yeah, it felt like last week was a little bit of a reprieve as well. You had weather all around, and so your temperatures are really in the 80 at kickoff, but going to be close to 100 as we get things started here today. So it is going to be Grapevine and Birdville. Captain shaking hands, getting set for the coin toss. We'll be back for the start of this one momentarily. Grapevine and Birdville here in Birdville.
Mustang Friday Night is proudly presented by the Grubbs family of dealerships.
No, back here at Birdville ISD Stadium. Team shaking hands here. As we get the results of that coin toss. And Grapevine wins the toss, and they elect to receive the football.
Yeah, interesting strategy, breaking out by Coach Smith, and Grapevine want to set the tone early, give Holmes and company a chance to come out and put this thing into a quick deficit for Birdville. Of course, we know Holmes, seeing him last year, kind of a jack of all trades, not afraid to run it, but it'll be interesting with a different head coach this year, different offensive philosophy. Can't wait to get this thing going and seeing how Grapevine comes out with the football.
Yeah, the Grapevine actually had 3 different players play quarterback last week. Jalen Holmes, the starter, but Ty Johnson had 9 passes as well. He threw for 67 yards. Cooper Towery, jack of all trades, had a chance to get behind center as well. So we will stay here for the national anthem as some students from Birdville have taken the field, and we are just about set for action here as we get set to honor America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise? We direct your attention to the east end zone for the presentation of tonight's colors. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's colors are provided by the Birdville High School Junior ROTC. At left guard, Cadet Captain Valerie Santiago. Carrying the Texas flag, Cadet Captain Lauren Robisky. American flag, Cadet Command Sergeant Major Enniswood Downs. And at right guard, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Paul Silvas. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's national anthem is being performed by the Vocal Edition Choir under the direction of Tara Sakon. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Well, there's the national anthem as Grapevine, the Mustangs, will receive the football from the Birdville Hawks as these two will renew a rivalry as Grapevine coming in with that 0-1 record with a very close loss last week to Frisco Wakeland. Birdville coming off the come-from-behind victory over Crowley, and it will either be a 2-0 team or a couple of 1-1 teams at the end of this one. And Grapevine in those gorgeous all-white uniforms, taking on what kind of looks like a little bit of a DeSoto Eagle trend there for Birdville. Little Baylor Bear green as well. They'll call it the Birdville green as they will get set. And the offense is going to get their first opportunity, just like last week for Grapevine. They ended up turning the ball over on downs in their first possession, but they'll see if they can get that chaos going, that controlled chaos that Ryan Smith talks about that he wants his Grapevine team to play with. So should be a fun one. Brendan Smith and Austin Taylor, glad you're with us for Game 2 of the season here at Texas high school football.
Yeah, what you want to see here early for Grapevine is not necessarily just a bomb on the first play. Just get a couple first downs, stay in front of the sticks here. Really a good opportunity for you to establish yourself on offense. And obviously, if you elect to receive the ball, you got to feel pretty good about your plan coming out.
It is Yeager Sides who will kick it deep, and the Mustangs will take this one back the other way to the 13-yard line. And so that is where they will begin the drive. Luke Stewart on the return, and so it'll be a long field for the Grapevine Mustangs in their first possession with the senior quarterback Jalen Holmes coming off the sidelines. It's Jalen Holmes, and here's the rest of that offense. You're going to see Jake Graham, the sophomore running back. You'll see Jaime Sanchez as well in his senior season. Cooper Towery's going to get some work there offensively. Your receivers, at any given moment, Luke Stewart, Ryland Goen, Raymond Zhao, Brody Hunter, and Chase Carter. All behind that offensive line up front. And so the Mustangs...
without a clock reset.
Last week, nobody cares, but I did the game, and we didn't have a play clock the entire game. So felt like the game went about 3 hours, and I'm wondering if the refs gave a little bit of extra leeway there on the end of a couple of those situations. But they're going to get this thing going. 11:55 left in this first quarter. Still waiting for that first play. Here we go. And the Mustangs will break, and they'll come out where everybody except for the quarterback in Holmes and the running back there in Sanchez in the backfield. And on first down, a huge gain around the right side, down the sideline and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. The Mustangs break one off early as Cooper Towery in the backfield got the direct snap and took off for about 25 yards.
Yeah, the quarterback power to start it off. Obviously, Towery, a guy that has done that many times. We saw even last year. A guy that Grapevine is not afraid to go to. And obviously, we talked before, they probably felt pretty good about this plan, and obviously, first play worked to success.
First and 10 from the 38-yard line. It's that three-man front for Birdville. Really kind of a 3-3-5 defense. There's a quick out to the right side. Catch is made by Chase Carter, and he's going to get close to that first down marker. In fact, I think he did get to midfield, and they will move the chains on back-to-back plays.
2 for 2 on moving the chains and positive yardage, and that's exactly what Coach Smith wanted. He wants a lot of guys touching this football early, and again, not in a hurry. You got your full menu available. Holmes, a veteran guy that's done this before, definitely settling in here early.
Okay, so let's say like they're catching here.
Looking over to get those signals. He comes out in that 3-receiver set. It appears Jake Graham is taking over in the backfield. Thought they had the first. It's officially 2nd and 1. Holmes will keep on the play fake and then fire out to the right side. The pass is caught by Luke Stewart, and he's out of bounds this time. They do move the chains. They are into Hawks territory at the 40-yard line.
Just really great job of spreading the ball out, just taking what's open. Most coaches say softest coverage, shortest throw, easiest throw. Definitely when you're doing it like that, the game becomes pretty easy. So 3 for 3 so far for the Mustangs, exactly what you want for Coach Smith and company.
Yeah, and you talked about how many different players they want touching the football. Well, you had Towery got the first one, then Luke Stewart, Chase Carter, the other two that have touched the football. Here they go play action again, and another throw, this one close to the sticks. Ball is caught on the far side. That's Luke Stewart again for about a gain of 8.
It'll be a fun stat to keep up with tonight, just how many different Mustangs get their hand on the football. If my math is correct, I think that's 3 already before this first drive is even over.
Center it up, tilt down a little bit. There you go.
Well, the Mustangs, really, it's been their MO the last few seasons. They'll hustle, get to the line, and then get that final play call from their sideline. And there's a whistle and a late substitution.
Mr. Official kind of telling the coaches on the sideline, if you're going to do that again, you better be quick. I don't know if they're going to give him that courtesy whistle again.
It's Jalen Jackson, the safety, who came in at the last minute. Man in motion is Ty Johnson. Here's Holmes, rolls out to his left. He's got some space. Now he's going to throw, goes deep towards the end zone, and the pass nearly intercepted. On the coverage was Brayan Hall. The intended receiver deep down that left side was Rylan Goen.
Yeah, I was looking for that kind of smash route toward the pylon. Really tough ball, one just to catch the sun here in Birdville towards the east side of the stadium, just bearing down. Really hard for defensive backs and receivers turning their head to go make a play.
So 3rd down and short. Holmes took a chance there, maybe could have tucked his head and gone, as got a new quarterback in the backfield. It is going to be Towery who fakes the handoff, and now he gets to the first down marker. Boy, and Cooper Towery, when almost ask him what position he plays, it's just, I play football. He does a little bit of everything offensively and defensively, and we've seen him twice run the football here in the first drive.
That's 2 times on quarterback zone right there, just kind of taking the split zone and reading that defensive end. If he crashes, he's going to hand it off. If not, he's going to go run for it. And again, enough to move the sticks. And as we see Holmes going back out there under center again.
He's got 4 receivers this time. In the shotgun. Holmes on first down, looking to throw. He finds a receiver on a quick out. It's Rylan Goen. He's going to pick up a handful of yards on first. And boy, Mustangs have stayed ahead of the chains here in the first few minutes of this ballgame.
Yep, exactly what the doctor ordered. Like I said, before this drive started, that's something that you wanted to do. And again, just stay in front of the sticks, give yourself second and manageable, turns into 3rd and short, etc. And that's exactly what you want if you're Grapevine.
And you could see the options there that Jalen Holmes had the option out of the backfield, but instead decided to go to Goen, who has a couple of targets here in the first quarter. So 2nd down, Holmes in the backfield. He will hand it off this time, and a big spin move, and look out! Graham to the 5, and down he goes inside the 5-yard line to the 2. It's the sophomore Jake Graham who puts the Mustangs on the doorstep.
Yeah, great move right there. Kind of had him dead to rights at the line of scrimmage, but Graham makes one move, makes a guy miss, and Mustangs are cooking right here with 1st and goal from the 3.
Boy, such a strong drive coming out of the gates. They went for it on their opening drive deep in their own territory last week. Coach Ryan Smith himself said, maybe I was being a little cocky. I felt good. Wanted to go for it. They didn't punt. Mustangs did not at all last week in that 1-point loss. 1st and goal. Holmes will keep it. Chugging for the goal line, waiting for the signal. He's in. Touchdown, Mustangs. A statement drive for Grapevine right out of the gates, and they draw first blood.
Yeah, opening script right there. Works to perfection. Coach Smith and company elects to receive. Anytime you do that, you kind of look back and think to yourself, okay, they must feel really good about this opening script. And you look up on the scoreboard right now, you're an extra point away from being up 7-0.
Now, the extra point has not been an automatic thing so far this season for Grapevine. It's Austin Schilling who is back there. He will make the kick. And it is 7-0, Grapevine in front. So a drive that starts on their own 15-yard line. It ends with a 2-yard touchdown run from Jalen Holmes. 7-0 Grapevine right out of the gate here in Birdville.
Advances next announcement brought to you by Costa Vida. That's Costa Vida Fresh Mexican Grill. They're proud supporters of Birdville High School football. Fresh, local, and involved. You can visit their location at 5615 Caligo Boulevard today. That's Costa Vida Fresh Mexican Grill. Score drive for the Mustangs, 9 plays covering 86 yards. Time of possession.
Like it.
3 minutes, including the 3-yard run by Holmes for the score.
7-0 Mustangs as they drive down the field, and they do it very quickly. Capped off with a touchdown run from Jalen Holmes. It's his first score of the season, a 2-yard run, and it will be Cade Moreland who will send this deep for Birdville, who's going to touch the football for the first time. Ball caught deep in his own territory, and here's some room. Breaking free is Braylon Montoya. He is into Mustang territory down at the 40, but way back at the 22-yard line, there is a flag, and that generally means it's coming back.
Yeah, might have gotten a hold right there. Didn't catch the number, but as we can signal, the Birdville coach is telling everybody to come on back, which, unfortunate for Birdville, that's a great response. Go down 7-0 early. We're looking at the ball with 7-0.
We will step aside. Quick break before we get back for this first Birdville drive.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
Zach Wells takes over at quarterback for Birdville. They're going to start from their own 12-yard line, so neither one of these teams with great field position on their first drives. It was an 85-yard drive for the Mustangs, and it'll be Birdville, the Hawks, who try to do it one better. Wells fires out of the backfield. Decent space here for George Garrett, and he's going to get close to the 20-yard line. That's a solid gain there on first down.
Two kind of similar plays, one by Grapevine, one by Birdville. Just little quick hitters to get the clock rolling, get the chains moving. Again, another positive play right there for both squads.
Garrett had a couple of catches, only 9 yards, but one of those for a touchdown last week against Corral. Wells, 165 yards passing last week. He had the 3 touchdowns to 2 different receivers. On second down, they'll hand it off out of the backfield. It's Anthony White, and he's got himself a first down as they're able to move that line of scrimmage and a fresh set of downs.
Quick off tackle right there. Got a big side of this left side, of this Birdville line led by Carson Holzapfel. Just a bigger guy on the left side. They're going to probably run off his left hip all night long if that's available.
A little bit of extracurricular going down at the bottom of the field on the Birdville side. Dalen Collins, the senior cornerback for Grapevine, and Tristan Spain, the senior receiver, with the little pushing and shoving after the play. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. They'll hand it off again to White. And he's got nowhere to go this time.
Again, trying to on that left side of that line. I think to attest to what you just said, little extracurriculars, guys putting their hands up. Definitely don't want to get an unsportsmanlike penalty either way. It's going to be 15 one way or the other.
Yeah, it's a fine line. You want the aggression, you want the intensity, but you don't want the 15 yards. Already a big penalty for Birdville. Has had a huge return on the kickoff taken back. They started this drive at the 12. 2nd and long, Wells to throw for the first time. He finds his man on the out in George Garrett, and he dropped it. Boy, Garrett had some space, but he might have heard some footsteps. He had Tatum Evans as well as Luke Gormley charging in on him.
Yeah, that was a really good concept right there by Birdville. Just a simple levels concept. Had a pump fake to the left. Kind of gets those linebackers washed over a little bit. Just couldn't make the play. But definitely had some space. Will probably be a play that the Hawks come back to later in this ballgame.
Yeah, they had Wells rolling out to his right, trying to make something happen. And so now, 3rd down and about 8 for the Hawks. There was just 1 3rd down for Grapevine on that first possession. They converted it before the touchdown. Wells to pass. Here comes the blitz. He's in some trouble. He's able to escape, and he's going to have to try and get it with his feet, and he's not going to get there. Excellent closing speed there by Jalen Carson from the cornerback position, and Birdville's going to have to punt after their first possession falls flat.
Yeah, that's a great sequence right there for Grapevine. The thing you want to do after you go down and score is just get that 3 and out, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered right there for the Mustangs. Now you got an opportunity. You go down and score, you put this thing in a 14-0 hole. You're just making it tougher and tougher for Birdville to rebound.
Again, Birdville did fall down big last week, 20-0 before turning it back on. Yeager sides to kick it, and look out, this one nearly blocked. And it turns out to be a high, almost pooch-like kick. And that one's going to be downed on the other side of the 50-yard line. So Grapevine's going to have outstanding field position as they get set for their second drive. 6:39 left here in the first quarter. So Grapevine has the lead. They're going to get the football back here, and they'll, after that, starting at the 15-yard line, their first drive, they will start here from the 49-yard line. I really just want to see more of what you saw in that first possession. Is really Holmes looked completely comfortable throughout that entire drive.
And again, just positive first down plays, put yourself in a good position. That's exactly what you want.
Stack in the backfield. It's Sanchez in motion. They'll hand the ball off to Graham. He's going to get nothing, but there was immediately a flag thrown from both officials on the far side, and I don't know if this play even started. It's either going to be a false start or an illegal formation for the Mustangs.
Looks to be a false start. Didn't get the number. A little premature there. Nothing to, hold your head about. 1st and 15, very manageable. And again, if Grapevine can do what they did last drive, keep distributing the ball, keep kind of Birdville's defensive coordinators and staff guessing. When you make it difficult to understand who your go-to guy is, that just makes you that much tougher to defend.
Well, really, this is the first time they've gone backwards at any point in this ball game. So it'll be 1st and 15, quick pass, and it is behind Ryland Goen as they went with the play action. Nothing doing there. So now, for the first time, you are behind the sticks here at 2nd and 15.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Coach Smith goes about this drive now, right? You got essentially, 2 plays to get 15 yards. You would imagine they're going to air it out here, but definitely not out of the ordinary to maybe see Cooper Towery coming in right here for a little quarterback option or something. So we'll see what the offensive staff dials up.
Now they stay with Graham in the backfield as the running back, Jalen Holmes as the receiver. Brady Kays is that H-back on the right side with 3 receivers. 2nd and long. Holmes with time, fires, and the pass caught by Goen, and he tries to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He's not quite going to get there. This is going to make it 3rd and 11.
It's a good tackle right there by Birdville linebacker Hunter Grant. Just did a good job of going near foot, near shoulder, not letting anybody get outside of him, and set the edge right there.
Now Birdville has forced the 3rd and long. It was a short conversion on that first possession for the Mustangs, trying to go 2 for 2 on 3rd down. Some movement in that secondary and the linebacking core for Birdville. And so now Holmes is going to look for maybe something a little bit different. Gets the snap. He's got a good pocket. Still waiting, has to avoid a cornerback and now try to take off, and his helmet's ripped off, and that's going to give a free first down to Grapevine.
Yeah, that's unfortunate right there. Amari Agnew for Birdville had an angle, left his feet, but when you do that, you make it really difficult to tackle the right way. And unfortunately for Birdville, fortunately for Grapevine, going to be a first down 15 yards up the field. Now Grapevine can probably take a deep breath. Feel like they got away with one there.
Yeah, after the penalty on first down, they were never really able to catch back up. But number 40 gets called for this penalty. It's Omari Agnew. And he really didn't have a need to do it. As you said, he kind of got out of position, and he had a lot of space before that first down marker, and he ends up ripping off the helmet. So a fresh set of downs for the Mustangs. Go with a 2-receiver set, 2 backs. And a misdirection handoff. It goes to Sanchez trying to get to the edge, and the ball's just ripped away. Birdville goes the other way. Down the sideline and to the house for a touchdown. It's Jamal Ramsey. And on a dime, this one turns into Birdville's favor. It's 7-6.
Yeah, we're going to have to see on the replay there. I really do think it's exactly what you called, Brendan. I think he just ripped it straight out of his hands. Wasn't really trying to do anything special. Just kind of said, give me that. And we look up right now. We're an extra point away from this thing being tied up. Just a heck of a play right there by Ramsey. And if you can't do it on offense, why not try it on defense?
Yeah, they didn't have anything going offensively. And then after that huge penalty on 3rd down, they get the takeaway. And that is just straight effort from Jamal Ramsey in his senior season. Extra point is up, and it is good. And so Birdville is answered with a defensive touchdown. 7-7 is our score. Our first quarter is brought to you by Stacy Furniture. 5:48 to go. We are tied at 7, Birdville and Grapevine.
Introducing the Grubs Lifetime Warranty. Choosing Grubs just got easier. The Grubs Lifetime Warranty is here. Eligible vehicles now include lifetime powertrain coverage at no extra cost. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, 100% parts and labor. Now on all new and select pre-owned vehicles at every Grubs dealership. Not all vehicles qualify. Non-transferable. Excludes commercial use. See grubs.com for terms and coverage.
Birdville with the defensive touchdown, Jamal Ramsey, which what will officially be ruled a fumble, but really he just strips it away and takes it down the sideline to even up the score. So it is the first turnover for Grapevine this season. And they're going to get back and try to return this kick. Luke Stewart to return it and get some of that good mojo back. They had a really good feeling going into this one.
Life moves fast, but protecting what matters shouldn't be complicated. At Graymark Insurance, we make home and auto coverage simple, affordable, and built around you. Old-fashioned service, uncommon speed, that's the Graymark promise. Visit mygraymark.com today and learn more. Again, that's mygraymark.com.
Yeager sides, kicks it deep and over the head of Luke Stewart. And so the possession here for the Mustangs will start at the 20-yard line, and I don't know how much you can take away from that play that just happened. They've been moving the ball really well, speaking of the Mustangs.
Yeah, you're looking at just the scoreboard, you're probably like, okay, both teams go down and they score. Just, traditional ho-hum football. It's really kind of been anything but that. Grapevine has a well-established drive, a couple plays, and punches it in, looks to go down the field, gets a gifted first down with the face mask, and before you know it, this thing is all knotted up at 7.
A little bit of a different look now as Jalen Holmes on the sideline. It's Ty Johnson, who went 8 for 9 last week for 67 yards, also ran a couple times. They'll rotate some quarterbacks on you, will the Mustangs. So first down with the spread offense. They're going to go play action, and this one, dangerous pass to Ryland going on the far side of the field. That is tremendous coverage from Brian Hall. That one was dangerously close to an interception.
Quarterback 2, Ty Johnson, kind of goes out there for a quick little stop route. And, lucky it didn't get jumped right there, as we see Johnson staying out there. See if this is the alignment that Grapevine wants to go to. No sign of Jalen Holmes on the field. He's over there with his helmet on. Looks ready to go, but Mustangs are going to elect to stick with Johnson here.
So again, that spread offense next to Johnson in the backfield. He's running back in Jake Graham. They'll hand it to him. Graham around the left side, breaks a tackle and gets to the second level. That is a strong run and a first down. That is a very strong sophomore in Jake Graham. Had a couple of touchdowns last season. Was able to pick one up last week, and they're moving quick here on first down. They'll go a screen pass to Zhao, and he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, numbers game right there. Birdville 3 guys, Grapevine 2 guys. Simple math. Probably tells you you're not going to win on that one, but with a quick hitter, tried to maybe break one and see what can happen as we see Graham going out and subbing in is Sanchez at running back, the culprit of the fumble last time. I'm sure he wants the rock again to prove himself that that's not going to happen anymore.
So Graham had the first down run. They rotate in Sanchez. He had himself a game last week. Had a couple of touchdowns, 65 yards rushing. It's one of 2 backs to punch it in along with Jake Graham. Johnson throws deep. He's got a man in the secondary who makes a move, cuts down that sideline, and now towards the middle of the field. Luke Stewart to the 10. Luke Stewart to the goal line and a touchdown. That is all run after catch after a strong throw from Ty Johnson, and the Mustangs are in for the second time.
You got 2 quarterbacks with 2 different touchdowns, one running, one through the air. By land or by air, kind of what Grapevine's motto is. They want a lot of guys touching the ball, and that's exactly what we've seen so far in this first quarter.
And so here for the extra point is Austin Schilling. 1 for 1 today. His second is up, and it is good. So the Mustangs answer right back, 14-7 after the touchdown pass from Ty Johnson. And it is 14-7 Mustangs, 4:40 left in the first quarter.
Shop Stacy Furniture and Design, the family-owned furniture store that North Texans trust for the best selection of quality furniture.
Our showrooms are curated with a sharp focus on design, like this new beautiful 3-piece sectional.
New collections are arriving daily. With our price match guarantee, you can always rest assured that you will never overpay for furniture from Stacy's.
Our family's commitment to offering the best in quality, style, and affordability is truly what sets us apart. Remember, you're shopping at Stacy's, you're shopping with family,
and you're not burning money.
A strong start for the Mustangs. They did have the turnover in between 2 touchdown drives, and as you mentioned, 2 very different touchdown drives, 1 long and methodical, and then 1 a quick strike.
Yeah, 100%. Just, you never really know what you're getting with this Mustang offense, which is, has to be a headache for defensive coordinators. I mean, you've seen 2 quarterbacks both be effective early. We're not even in the second quarter yet, and they both have a touchdown pass. So again, if you're Grapevine Mustangs defense right here, you want to get off the field and give your offense a chance. Other than the self-inflicted penalty, you're 2 for 2 on touchdown drives.
So the Mustangs will kick it away as a touchdown pass for Ty Johnson. That's the first touchdown pass of the season for Grapevine. Back deep to kick this one away is Cade Moreland. Moreland had been the place kicker, went 1 for 3 in point after attempts. They've made a little bit of a shift, and instead they have got Austin Schilling doing that. But on the return out to about the 23-yard line, and that is where the Hawks will begin just their second possession offensively after having to punt it away their first possession, and then after they come back defensively, get a fumble, take it back to the house. That's how they've scored, but haven't had anything going offensively yet.
No, and it'll be interesting. Now you got kind of a clean slate if you're Birdville. You got nothing but green grass in front of you. You got your full menu available. I'm sure this Hawks offense wants to establish a rhythm, get some things going, especially before this one potentially gets out of hand if Grapevine's offense can't be stopped.
And Zach Wells back out for the offense. Middle of the field at the 22-yard line. They'll sweep it around the right side. Not much there. There is another penalty flag. As looked like Montoya on the carry.
Didn't see what the flag was for. Those flags were thrown super quickly. Most of the time they blow it dead. So we'll get a replay right here. And we'll be on the offense.
Yeah, so last week, penalties more of an issue for Grapevine. They were penalized 11 times for 89 yards. Birdville 6 times for 50 yards. But the biggest penalties thus far have belonged to Birdville. Only down 7 points, but they've got a defensive touchdown, and the offense is really yet to get anything going. It'll be 1st and long after the penalty. Wells pump fake, and here comes Evans. Excuse me, that's Cooper Towery, who came firing in from the second level, pops Wells' helmet off, and a sack from Cooper Towery.
Yeah, weak side blitz right there by Towery, just goes untouched. Has a great hit on the quarterback, and not only it gets the helmet off, which brings a backup quarterback into the game as well.
Boy, untouched, you see there on the replay by Cooper Towery. Him, Gormley, Cedric Hicks, as well as Tatum Evans, some of the leaders on this defense. But a positive play defensively on first down. It's now 2nd and long. Wells having to scramble. He's got guys all over him and somehow gets it to his receiver on the far side of the field. There's a flag down. The catch is made by Jack Subject, but this could be another one coming back.
Yeah, a little handsy there. Don't know who's going to be the culprit for it. Most of the time, the referees let that hand fighting kind of go. It looks like they're going to
Maybe picking up the flag.
Yeah, I think that's what they are going to do. Just kind of maybe converse about it a little bit and give it on back to him. So I think that play is going to stand.
Yeah, they pick up the flag, and so it'll be a first down at the 40-yard line. And man, that's a strong throw there from Gus Dykes, the backup quarterback.
Yeah, one play makes a good throw, sub you back out. Thanks for playing. Good sign that Birdville has a guy that potentially is capable if something goes haywire with Wells here early.
And just looked confident throwing the football, but break for Birdville after the penalty flag is picked up. That is their best play offensively thus far tonight. Have it from the left hash at the 40-yard line. It has been strictly shotgun for both of these teams so far tonight. Receiver in motion. They give it to him, and to the second level and finding some space is George Garrett. He ripped through a couple of arm tackles, and he will signal for a first down.
Garrett pretty slippery right there with the football. He'll kind of run right through you. We've seen early already as Birdville goes fast. They're going to try to distribute him the ball as quickly as they can.
Yeah, Birdville in the hurry up here, just on the other side of midfield for the first time. They hand it off up the middle to Cardbow, and it is a gang of white-shirted Mustangs there, led by Tatum Evans, and nothing doing on first down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here, 2nd and 9. You know a Birdville passing attack wants to get going, but if not, Grapevine needs to bow up here and potentially make it a difficult situation for Birdville's offensive staff.
2nd down and 8. A key play to see what they do to try and make this manageable here on 3rd down. 4 receivers spread out. Man in motion is Cargbo. He's going to get the football out of the backfield. He's going to try and get through 3 different Grapevine Mustangs, and as Moore joined the pile, he keeps pushing forward. That is a strong run after catch by Christian Cargbo, and it's going to be 3rd down and very manageable for the Hawks.
We're hearing the pads hit early tonight. A lot of click-clack going on down there. A little bit of extracurricular too, which is always fun. And as long as you kind of, like you said earlier, Brendan, don't you want to toe that line and don't cross it, because 15 yards can be crucial in a game like this.
And we've seen a couple of those penalties already tonight. One of them we thought was going to hurt Birdville, but the very next play, they had a fumble return for a touchdown. Play clock is under 10. Birdville's going to have to hurry here. They're going to have to burn a timeout. Down to 2 on the play clock. Now 1. They do get it off. And on the end around, looking for space is Montoya. And he's going to pick up the first down. That is Luke Gormley on the tackle.
Looks like Maddox Boyles was in there for cleanup duty as well. And but again, going to move the sticks right there for Birdville. And they're kind of taking their sweet time, as we've seen. Kind of a tale of 2 offenses. They're going to use almost all of the play clock. They kind of want to control this thing to its fullest extent here.
Yeah, they also want to keep that defense on the field, so they rush to the line and then go and get that play call. Wells in the shotgun. Blitz is coming. They hand it off. It's Anthony White up the gut, and he gets close to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, as we should have time for one more play before the end of the first quarter.
We'll see what they like to do here. I think you are right. It might take the quarter. Looks to be a 2 or 3 second difference. Could be a whole decoy here. We'll see what Birdville likes to do.
Stacy Furniture brings you the first half. Or excuse me, the first quarter. We got 15 seconds left in it. We will get another play, at least one more. Wells with some time. Now the pressure comes. He's got to get it away, and he throws it away. That secondary pressure came. It was Tatum Evans who got there. Harrison Bargy was there as well. It'll be 3rd and 5 with 8 ticks left in the first.
Yeah, you've seen Birdville sort of try to establish a pass early. They came in with a backup quarterback and did that as well. Now it's time for Grapevine to bow up a little bit.
Yeah, take a look at number 0 in Evans. As he got there to the backfield. But here we go on 3rd down. Handoff, and there's the Mustang defense, but coming out alive somehow is Anthony White, but they blew the whistle dead. They blew it dead. They blew the play dead. White thought he had a second effort. He's still arguing, but it's going to be 4th down.
think that is the right call as we're going to get the end of the first quarter here. No, Birdville fans, coaches, staff, players aren't going to like it, but I do think that is the right call there.
Well, 4th and 3 on the other side of this break. Mustangs scoring twice in the first quarter. They lead it 14-7 over Birdville, as we'll be back with the second quarter.
Our next Hawk Nation sponsor, that's Urban Trails Animal Hospital. Urban Trails Animal
Mustang
Hospital
Friday Night is proudly presented by the Grubbs family of dealerships.
Dr. Regal has 25 years of experience as a veterinarian serving our community. Fully equipped modern veterinary hospital with
Shop Stacy Furniture and Design, the family-owned furniture store that North Texans trust for the best selection of quality furniture.
Our showrooms are curated with a sharp focus on design, like this new, beautiful 3-piece sectional.
New collections are arriving daily. With our price match guarantee, you can always rest assured that you will never overpay for furniture from Stacy's.
Our family's commitment to offering the best in quality, style, and affordability is truly what sets us apart. Remember, you're shopping at Stacy's, you're shopping with family,
and you're not burning money.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
And welcome back to Birdville ISD Stadium. 14-7 the score. Grapevine on top. A Jalen Holmes touchdown run and then a touchdown pass from Ty Johnson. That's the 2 touchdowns here for Grapevine. 4th and 3. Hawks are going to go for it. They go on a quick wide receiver screen to Montoya and nothing doing. Who else but Cooper Towery was there for the tackle. Luke Gormley there on that side of the field as well, and a turnover on downs forced by this defense.
Yeah, that's a huge play right there for the Mustang defense. These guys are fired up on the sidelines, and they should be. Anytime you get a 4th down stop, that's essentially a turnover, right? They call it a turnover on downs for a reason, and again, just a huge stop, huge credit right there to the Grapevine defense.
And so decent field position here to start from the right hash for the Mustangs at their own 32. Worst field position was their first drive. They started at the 15, went 85 yards for the touchdown, and then also started at the 20 in their second touchdown drive. Holmes on first down hands it off to Sanchez, and he will pick up about 5 yards as he went straight up the gut.
Good positive play right there on first down. Kind of seeing a little power look from Grapevine when they run the ball, really favoring the right side of that line, and it'll be interesting to see if that's something they stick to or go back to what they've been doing all night, spreading it out, keeping Birdville on their heels a little bit.
Thanks to Compass Church for bringing us the second quarter here at Grapevine Mustangs football. 4 receivers, 3 of them to the left for Jalen Holmes, who's back in after the touchdown drive orchestrated by Ty Johnson. Holmes going to roll to his left. He's got some space and a receiver that's wide open. The catch is made, I believe, from his knees. And, yeah, they will blow that dead. Rayming Zhao made the play for the first down.
Again, soft coverage, soft throw, easy catch right there, just enough to move the sticks. Probably would have loved to have that one back to run a little bit more after the catch, but nonetheless, another first down for this Mustang offense.
What do you think Jalen Holmes is thinking right here as he turns and sees there's nobody around? It takes him a second to throw it. Almost don't really believe what I'm seeing, that there's nobody around my receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of those where you kind of look up and you're, how in the world is this guy so open? But nonetheless, move the sticks anyway.
So first down from their own 45-yard line. Mustangs have looked good offensively, but here they fumble the snap. But Johnny on the spot. That looks like Cooper Towery was able, excuse me, that's Graham. That is Jake Graham who picked it up and somehow turned that into a positive gain.
Again, good job right there to kind of get out of that one and at least gain something, at least get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to move it a yard past here. But again, Grapevine, not in a crazy hurry. We saw them kind of going quicker early in the game. As the game goes on, they're kind of using the whole play clock here. Again, just kind of a chess match between these two teams right now.
That was really a mark of this offense last year. They didn't have what you felt like was that quick strike ability. You feel like they got more of that last year, but they really utilized that play clock and ran it down time and time again offensively. There is a snap here and a whistle, and I believe a timeout was called as Ryan Smith got the timeout in just before that play clock went to 0. So 14-7 our score here, Grapevine and Birdville. As we'll keep it right here as the Mustangs will go and have a quick chat, as well as Birdville. It's been an interesting first half, as we'll talk about it on the other side. We'll take a quick break. Grapevine on top 14-7 here in the second quarter.
Can't get enough. No. Just can't get enough. Woo. Come on, let's go. Can't get enough. Start the show. Can't get enough. Yeah. Just can't get enough.
Second down and about 9 here for the Mustangs. Right around midfield with a 14-7 lead, just out of the timeout. They hand it off to Sanchez, who gets bumped back a little bit in the backfield. Turns it into a positive gain. But it'll be third down and 6 or 7 yards for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Grapevine not really favoring one side of the line, which is something that we have seen from them in the past. They are running left, middle, and right, which is good. Just trust, that you have the players in place to go get these first downs.
Third and we'll call it 6. Mustangs 1 for 1 on third down. Is Holmes going to go deep for it all? There's nobody there. Had a couple of receivers on the right side. The closest was Ryland going, but that overshot him by about 15, 20 yards. So it's fourth down, and you're in a spot where there is some question as to what you're going to do here.
Looks like the punt team is going to come on. This is fake territory, though, so nothing is set in stone until toe meets leather. But you want to be aware right here if you are Birdville.
Well, and you always have to be ultra aware because you can see back there the punter is Jalen Holmes, your quarterback. So you talk about ripe for a fake. They've got, I'm sure, plenty of plays drawn up for him. But this is the first time that they have been in a punt formation. It's a high snap, and Holmes will send it down the field. Going to get a really good bounce. Inside the 10, inside the 5, and down at the 1-yard line. Boy, you could not have rolled that any better if you're Jalen Holmes. At the 1-foot line. So, I don't know if he got all of it, but that thing rolled all the way down to that 1-yard line, and it'll be a 99-yard attempt of a drive here for Birdville. In the second quarter, it's a special Thursday night edition of Mustang Friday Night. Big thanks to our presenting sponsor, the Grubbs family of dealerships, for bringing you this presentation. Brendan Smith, along with Austin Taylor with you.
Yeah, just what a big momentum shift right there for Grapevine. Now you're in territory where you can turn this thing into 6 points of your own or 2 points of your own if you get a tackle in the end zone here, resulting in a safety. Now all the pressure is on Birdville to get this thing off the 1.
I don't know if you could put a piece of paper between the ball and the goal line, but on first down they'll hand it off, and nothing doing there. Out of the backfield by Anthony White.
Yeah, good job right there by Grapevine, just kind of suffocating him, and almost gives you that extra pep in your step knowing that they have to get off the goal line here. They're going to do everything they can to.
They gave him about a half a yard, so officially second down and 9. They will hand it off again, this time around the right end, but once again there's a huge collision as it's Towery and Gormley who were there. We'll get a better look. But a big play there on first down, or excuse me, on second down, and third down and 8. And at this point, obviously you want the first down, but you're also thinking, I got to give some space for my punter if he's going to have to kick this away from his own end zone.
Yeah, not sure what the officials are conversing about here. White hat needs black hat. Something enough to cause a delay in the game here.
Take another look at that last play. There's Gormley and it looked like Cooper Towery who got there. Meanwhile, while we were looking at that, a penalty was called defensive. I didn't see what the penalty was.
Looks like they got number 13, Maddox Broyles, right there for unnecessary roughness.
Boy.
Coaches were little upset with him right there. Not only, as bad as a penalty that is, it kind of gets Birdville off the hook a little bit as they were deep in their own territory.
Yeah, they're from the shadow of their own goalpost. They're still, inside the 20, but a lot more breathing room. They're going to run it again for the third consecutive time, and for the third consecutive time, there's nowhere to go. Cedric Hicks, along with Cooper Towery, combined for that tackle.
Yeah, great job right there. These two have just been setting the edge really all night long. We still are, essentially early in this ball game, but so far, Birdville not able to get anything on the outside.
Cedric Hicks is one of those players where you saw it in his sophomore year last year, the impact that he had, and he had to take on a larger role. Some of the injuries to that front line, but here in his junior season, there's a snap and I think a free play for Birdville. It's going to end up being incomplete, but it looked like someone in the middle there jumped, and now a second flag comes in around the quarterback.
Yeah, it looks going to be a free play, but then the roughing the passer on Grapevine. We're going to see where they actually spot this thing. Again, just a little bit unnecessary, extracurricular. Especially, if you're Birdville, you got a free play, you might as well chunk it up there anyway, but that's going to tack on some extra towards the end of that thing as well.
And if this does go down as a personal foul for roughing the passer, that's going to be 2 of them in the span of about 3 plays for the Mustangs. Now,
there are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Offside, if he's declined, personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense for 45, 15 yards is added from the previous spot. It's an automatic first down.
so it will be, as you heard there, 2 penalties against Grapevine. They will accept the personal foul. So 1 personal foul gets you from your own 2-yard line, and then another one gives you another fresh set of downs, and that's something that's really going to stick in the craw of this Grapevine coaching staff.
Yeah, that's something you're going to take all day long if you're Birdville. Obviously, happy enough to even get it out to the 30, what started at your own 1-yard line.
So again, they will run the football. They have not had any success on this drive running the football, but they keep moving the chains. It's going to be a 2nd down and 9 after another short gain by Anthony White.
Yeah, Grapevine doing a great job. Again, like I said earlier, setting the edge right there, making it extremely difficult to get anything outside if you're Birdville.
Coming up on 7 minutes left here in the first half. All our scoring in the first quarter. There's a play action, and Wells is rolling right. Fires to the middle of the field, incomplete. And on the coverage is Linnell Randolph. He's able to knock that to the ground. Tristan Spain was the targeted receiver. It'll be 3rd and 8.
That's a great job right there by Randolph, just sticking with his man step for step and making a play, not coming in too early to get that PI call, but doing a really good job of keeping his hands inside. Great back pedal through the route there, and just kind of knew where he was going before. That's a textbook defensive back play right there if you're Randolph. Great job by number 21.
So Zach Wells in the shotgun will have 4 receivers as they're going to do their best to pick up this first down. 3rd and 8 from inside their own 35. Wells throws it deep over the middle. It's overthrown, and they're going to get a penalty called, I believe, for pass interference. It'll be Maddox Broyles. And I think the argument maybe that pass wasn't catchable, but it is going to cost another 15 yards for Grapevine. That's 45 yards in penalties in this drive.
Yeah, if you're Birdville, you're not apologizing for it at all, obviously. You're doing enough to move the chains, and Grapevine still, they're 45 yards away from pay dirt essentially for 6 points. Definitely not dead, not out of this drive yet. Time to bow up a little bit. Get ready to make a play on the ball.
So they start at the 1. They've gone 48 yards to the 49 and maybe offensively have gained 4 of those yards. As we've got a timeout, and I believe this is called by Grapevine. And maybe trying to just kind of settle everybody down a little bit. Here's the replay of that pass interference. Good pressure from Hicks, and then the throw, and boy, that is a tough call. It looks like Broyles was there about the same time as the ball got there. The throw was high. That's a tough call, but it does go against Grapevine.
Yeah, and again, if you're Grapevine right now, you're telling your defense, hey, guys, look, we had them at the 1. So what? They're over halfway there, and really we've given it to them, right? We haven't allowed them to really earn anything. If we can just kind of do our job, we can get out of here and still in punt situation right here.
Get another look here at this pass interference call. Wells had to get rid of it with the pressure in his face, and now in super slow motion. I don't know.
Yeah, the argument there is definitely uncatchable, but nonetheless, here we are, and 1st and 10 right here for Birdville.
So 3 big penalties have kept this drive alive. Wells on the slant. It hits his receiver in the hands. Braylon Montoya can't hold on. And that'll fall incomplete at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a little bit behind him there. Pass that, as a receiver, it hits your hands. You probably want to say, yes, I should have caught that, but it is really difficult running across the middle. You know a safety or a linebacker is more than likely going to meet you right on contact, but probably one that Wells would want back.
A couple of substitutions as well as the back, and Anthony White is in the slot on the near side. 5 receivers and an empty backfield for Zach Wells. That 3-man front for the Mustangs. Blitz coming from the right side and a high throw. They were looking for White in that slot receiver position, but nothing doing on the fastball from Wells.
I think they just right there wanted their receivers in one-on-one situations, and we're going to go the route of our athlete is better than your athlete, was going to try to catch and make a guy miss, but nonetheless throw too high, and now you're in what is more than likely to be a must-pass situation on 3rd and long.
Again, just offensively, nothing really working for Birdville. Their only touchdown is on a strip fumble return. Just have not been able to do much against this Grapevine defense. They will run the ball on 3rd and long and pick up a decent chunk, but it's still going to be 4th down and about 5 around the 45-yard line for Birdville, and they're going to bring out the punt team.
Yeah, decision time here for Coach Smith. So far looks like he's going to elect to punt, but again, you are in prime fake territory. We'll see what the personnel is here for the Hawks, but setting up in punt return formation for Grapevine could potentially break a big one, but right now if you're Grapevine, you just want to secure this football right here if this punt gets off.
Well, back to return the kick. It's Luke Stewart, and another punt that's nearly blocked. This one does get away and head toward the sideline. A very strange bounce, and then Stewart touched the football. And the Hawks take over. Luke Stewart went after the football, and a gift given once again to Birdville. They're going to start deep in Mustang territory.
And if you kind of go back to where that original drive started on the 1-yard line, you're looking right now, I think they're going to spot the ball. Looks to be on the left hash on the 12. You are almost 100 yards essentially in either your own mistakes or penalties. Really tough right there for Grapevine.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the total offense on this drive, as you mentioned, it's almost gone 100 yards. I really think it's under 5 yards because every run has been stuffed and 3 penalties, and then I guess we'll call that a muffed punt. Turn into 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Hawks. And there is a whistle here. Official on the far side. Oh, they were just waiting to set up the chains. They hadn't gotten set up behind that 1st down marker. So they can still pick up a 1st down without scoring if you get it to the 2-yard line. Grapevine going to try and force another stop here. First time that the Hawks have been this deep into Grapevine territory. They give it to White, and he's going to get inside the 10. He keeps chugging. He's a tough young man to bring down.
Yeah, one of the best runs of the night, and he's kind of whistling for the ball again. He feels good about where it is, and I think these Birdville coaches do too. Going to try to catch Grapevine napping a little bit and punch this one in.
Yeah, he wanted that football back immediately after that run. He picked up about 7 yards, so 2nd down and about 3 from the 5-yard line. No surprise, they hand it off again. White to the goal line, pushes forward, and they're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, we're up here in the bird's nest. That was really, really close. Some of the Hawks players saying he got in. Grapevine players, of course, saying he didn't get in. Nonetheless, if he didn't, it's going to be right there on that maybe 2-3 inch line at the most.
So it will be a fresh set of downs. Now 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line. They've given it twice to Anthony White. I think that's going to be the choice again, and it is. He got close. He's pushed back, but he is in the end zone. White has scored, and Birdville is an extra point away from tying up this ball game.
You know, when this drive happened, Brendan, again, 99 yards. You get him at the 1-yard line. That's going to be 6 that this Grapevine staff and players look back at and think, man, this shouldn't have even been in this situation. But all credit to Birdville. They punched in and found pay dirt when they needed to, and now we're an extra point away from this thing being knotted up at 14.
Out to kick the extra point, Mario Minhavar. Try and even things up at 14, and he doesn't. I don't know if it was a bad snap or a missed kick, but that went right into the back of his own lineman. And it is no good, and so Grapevine, who had their own struggles on special teams last week, they are given a gift here, and they will hold on to a 14-13 lead. Grapevine on top. This is a special Thursday edition of Mustang Friday Night, 14-13 Mustangs.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
14-13, Grapevine with the lead. This is had a first quarter that seemed pretty smooth. A little bit different in the second. Birdville gets a lot of help. They punch it in, miss the extra point, but Grapevine fortunate to be ahead, but really been their own worst enemy at times tonight.
Yeah, you feel really good about that coming out. It's 14-13. You have the lead. You've been working well offensively. Defense going to get a chance to hopefully get a much-needed break here. Again, after you have a 99-yard drive, you're gassed whether it's penalty aided or not. So we'll see if Grapevine can sustain something on offense and tack on some more points.
If they are able to find something here in this potential final drive of the half, it would go a long way. Stewart to return the kick, and he will get it to the 15-yard line, and that is where Jalen Holmes and company will begin the drive. It has been 2 touchdown drives led by 2 different quarterbacks for Grapevine. Jalen Holmes on that 85-yard drive in the first quarter to start the game. He punched it in, a 2-yard touchdown run. Then you had Ty Johnson with a touchdown pass to Luke Stewart. It's more of the big strike. And now Holmes with 4:53 left in the first half. With how things have gone in the second quarter, if Holmes can go and get some points on the board, that's going to really help the Mustangs going into the break.
Yeah, 100%. Right now you got 4:50 left, got a couple timeouts. You're feeling good about where you're at. Full menu is available here for the Mustangs.
It's Holmes in the shotgun on first down. He hands it off up the middle, and it's Jake Graham, who is just a powerful back in the backfield. He picks up about 4 yards on first down to get to the 20. And as usual, very quickly back to the line of scrimmage. But now Grapevine slows it down, and they're going to bring in a whole slew of different personnel.
If you can get a first down here, you start kind of playing peekaboo with that clock a little bit. Then you kind of turn into, okay, we don't want Birdville to get the ball back. Whether or not this drive ends in points, we just don't want them to get a chance to take the lead at all at halftime.
Now, second down. And we'll call it 7. Holmes, nobody in the backfield with him. He's going to take it on the draw. He's got a lot of room. Spin at the 30. First down around the 33-yard line, and that's a really well-designed quarterback run.
Yeah, just simple quarterback draw right there. Just catch and go. And when you get that blocking from the interior of that offensive line, that's good.
So Holmes spread everybody out and then just tucked it and ran. So first down now from the 33-yard line. Holmes again, empty backfield, rolls to his right. He finds Luke Stewart, who's going to push ahead and fall out of bounds just in front of the Birdville sideline. And he's going to pick up about 6 or 7 yards.
Going to be about 2-3 yards short again here. Does stop that clock, though, and gets in a good situation right here where run-pass kind of becomes unpredictable. We've seen Grapevine pass and running situations and run and passing situations tonight. So doing a good job of switching out personnel, keeping Birdville on their heels a little bit.
And Jake Graham come in last minute. Chase Carter goes to the sideline. So they will trade in a receiver for a running back. Graham's in the backfield, second down and short. They show blitz, good protection, and Holmes goes deep for Stewart, and he just overthrows him. a go route down the sideline. Stewart had a little bit of a step, but that would have taken an absolutely perfect throw.
Yeah, good coverage right there by Niles Hackley. Was with him step for step down the way. And Luke Stewart, obviously pretty shifty guy, can get up and down pretty quickly. But again, good coverage right there by Hackley to force a 3rd and short.
So now an interesting down here and an interesting decision, because as you mentioned, you are thinking clockwise and you don't want Birdville to have a chance to have a decent drive before the half. So this is a really important 1st down for the Mustangs. Got the H back in. Holmes the snap. He will fake the handoff and keep it to the 50-yard line. He nearly had his jersey ripped off, but he's got the 1st down. There is a late flag, it appears. I think that's a flag on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. The official almost was ignoring it, but we'll see what the call is. Here's the replay. They call a face mask. It's the 2nd time there's been a personal foul with Holmes running the football, and this is... There you see the jersey nearly come off, but then the face mask has got to happen right around here. And yeah, right at the very end of the play as Holmes is already going down. And it's been a sloppy game, some personal fouls on both sides tonight.
Yeah, early in the season, you're going to get some personal fouls. You're going to get some hiccups, but hopefully both teams can clean it up a little bit.
So fresh set of downs. They hand it off to Contreras, who makes a leaping attempt to get over the secondary. He's down around the 25-yard line. He'll pick up 7.
And now you're kind of in that territory as the clock creeps under 3 minutes here. You don't really care anymore. You're so close to scoring. You're 25, 26 yards away. You just want to come away from this drive with points here if you're Grapevine.
Grapevine did get the ball to start the quarter, or to start the ball game. So coming out of the 3rd quarter, it will be Birdville's football. So not a chance to double up, but a chance to secure a lead going into half. You do have the 1-point lead right now. Holmes on the quick out, leaping play, and the catch is made by Zhao, and he will get out of bounds. He will get a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, good job right there by Holmes, just taking what the defense gives you.
And these are plays where Holmes doesn't have to think. He just snaps it, fires it, and then kind of let the receivers do the blocking. Here's that throw again. And there you see the block up top from Brody Hunter as Zhao able to follow that block and get exactly what he needs for the 1st down. So at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. It's a Pat White State Farm 1st down as Holmes will hand it off. It's Jake Graham close to the 15-yard line.
Just tough sledding from Jake Graham. As you mentioned earlier, Brendan, just a sophomore. His better days of football are more than likely ahead of him, but Grapevine's got a bowling ball in Mr. Graham right now, and he's definitely wanting the rock, definitely signaling over to those coaches, keep feeding me. He's running the ball really well tonight, the young sophomore.
We saw flashes as a freshman. He split time JV varsity. He had 118 yards, a couple of touchdowns, but you saw some flashes from Jake Graham. At the 2-minute mark here, right, Grapevine holding on to a 14-13 lead. This is a Thursday edition of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Introducing the Grubs Lifetime Warranty. Choosing Grubs just got easier. The Grubs Lifetime Warranty is here. Eligible vehicles now include lifetime powertrain coverage at no extra cost. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, 100% parts and labor. Now on all new and select pre-owned vehicles at every Grubs dealership. Not all vehicles qualify. Non-transferable. Excludes commercial use. See grubs.com for terms and coverage.
Our first downs this evening presented by Pat White and State Farm Insurance. Thank you to Pat White and State Farm for their sponsorship of Grapevine Mustangs football. Brendan Smith along with Austin Taylor. Also want to thank the Grubbs family of dealerships for this special presentation of Mustang Friday Night on a Thursday night. 2nd down for the Mustangs, 2 minutes left, 2nd and 6 as they're trying to extend this 1-point lead. They'll hand it off to Graham, trying to get to that second level. He's met at the 15-yard line, and then a slew of Hawk defenders come to finish the job.
I think 9 of 11 Birdville players right there were in and around the football. That's a really good job of rally, tackling, running to the football, setting the tone and setting the edge. Both of these teams really have done a good job setting that edge and not really letting anything escape outside this evening.
And to your point earlier, you've got Grapevine content to let that clock continue to run. You can see the 15 on the play clock. You'd love to pick up a first down and punch it in, but you've made it where it's going to be really difficult no matter what happens for Birdville to get points. You got Towery in the backfield, the direct snap. He's going to take it. He's done it a couple times tonight. He had been successful the first two, not this time. It is going to be 4th down and about 3. Birdville has not called a timeout. That clock continues to run.
Yeah, again, if you're Grapevine, you just don't want to give Birdville a chance to get this ball back, whether you elect to keep the offense on the field or elect to kick here. Again, you just do not want the Hawks to get the ball back.
Well, it looks like they're going to go with that same type of offense with Cooper Towery. I don't know if you would call it a wildcat or just call him the quarterback. He's kept it all 3 times he's been in the backfield so far tonight. 4th down and 3. And maybe just trying to get something to happen, get Birdville to jump off sides, because now the Mustangs will call a timeout. That's their second. As 14-13 our score, 29 seconds left here in the first half.
Life moves fast, but protecting what matters shouldn't be complicated. At Graymark Insurance, we make home and auto coverage simple, affordable, and built around you. Old-fashioned service, uncommon speed, that's the Graymark promise. Visit mygraymark.com today and learn more. Again, that's mygraymark.com.
So a big 4th and 3, and a little bit of a decision here for first-year head coach Ryan Smith and the Mustangs. They had a chance for potentially a field goal, or do they want to go for it and see if they can put 6 on the board with 1 timeout and 29 ticks to play with?
Yeah, we'll see. It looks like we are lining up for the field goal attempt here.
They are going to go for that field goal. This is Cade Moreland to kick it. Or excuse me, I take that back. This is Austin Schilling. About a 30-yard field goal from the left hash. Snap is high, hold is good, kick is on the way, and it is good. A perfect kick from Schilling, and that will extend the lead for Grapevine to 17-13. A 30-yard field goal. And so it appears you're going to take a 4-point lead into the break. I think Grapevine probably feels they deserve to have a bigger lead. Unfortunately, that's not how football happens, but Birdville's still in this. I don't know if I'm going to expect them to do anything here in this final possession.
Yeah, you never know. The first play will kind of dictate everything in the drive. If they take a knee, obviously that'll do it, and we'll see in the second half. But stranger things have occurred. Some coaches look at 25 seconds and think of it as an eternity. So you want to be smart right here on the kickoff. If you're Grapevine, you want to get it to the spot that you want. The worst thing that could happen would be a fluke, kick return touchdown or something like that. That's got to be back in the minds of Grapevine staff here.
Oh, and you think about one of the only times that Birdville had success moving the ball, and I'm speaking either special teams or offense, it was a kickoff, their first kickoff return that got called back because of that penalty. Everything else has been either defensive. They had the big defensive touchdown. It's either been that or it's been penalty aided from Grapevine. So there's not a whole lot of confidence, I guess, as you've seen in that first half that shows you they're going to go down the field and score here very quickly. It was Jamal Ramsey defensively who had that touchdown on the strip. He just took it right out of the hands of the receiver and took it the other way to the house. But the Mustangs have a 17-13 lead here after the Austin Schilling 30-yard field goal. Got to make sure to cover this kick right. It is sent towards the sideline, nearly out of bounds, but the ball is caught and nowhere to go. Good coverage as Braylon Montoya down around the 15-yard line. He might have been better off letting that thing go out of bounds.
Yeah, I think so. Would have definitely had better field position. Now with 19 seconds left, I would be shocked if Birdville does not elect to just take a knee and head to the locker room. But, again, like I said earlier, we have seen stranger things.
Well, Birdville's talking about it over on their sideline as Compass Church brings you not only the final 19 minutes of this second quarter, but also the entire second quarter. And we thank them for their support. As here comes Birdville, and the way they're set up, they're going to take a knee on this one and get to the second half. Mustangs still showing a little bit of pressure, but got that extra safety back there. Wells will take a knee, and that will take us to the end of the first half. Overall, an incredibly positive first half for the Grapevine Mustangs. They score on their first two possessions. They have a 17-13 lead as we go to break. Mustangs looking for their first win since November of 2023. They've got the lead at half over Birdville. We'll step aside. We'll be back for second half action here momentarily. This is a Thursday night edition of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Mustang Friday Night is proudly presented by the Grubbs family of dealerships.
To welcome you to halftime, Mustang style. For your halftime entertainment, Grapevine High School proud to the award-winning officers. The officers from left to right are Junior Lieutenant Lucille Roscoe, Senior Lieutenant Gracie Captain Impa, Junior Lieutenant Everly Johnson, Junior Lieutenant Olivia Roscoe. The officers are President Kevin Loomis, Vice President Haley Lanigan, Social Officer Aubrey Cunningham, Corey Halburn, and Libby Myers. On the field, the Grapevine ISD team. Featuring the direction of head coach Katie Worthworthy and assistant coach Ellen Ayers. This week's staff recognition is Mrs. Janet Martin. Thank you for all you do for the Phillies and Grapevine High School. This week's girl is Noelle Nash. And our Philly honor girl is Maisie Connor. The fabulous Phillies will be performing a field jazz to Rock You Like a Hurricane. team. I wish to extend a special thank you to our sponsors, Ambition Dance Productions, Harlan House of Dance, Cotton Dairy, Terry Cusses, and First Choice Stadium Storage. Go Grapevine!
Only thing I see is Stangs who they seem as let me check again.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Grapevine High School is proud to present the 2025 edition of the Grapevine Mustang Band. This evening, the Mustang Band will present a portion of their show entitled Soleil. In the direction of drum makers, Nate Cry, Andrew Moon, and Addison.
Yep, I see him. Do you want me to just pan over?
For Grapevine, Colorado, I see Dr. Paul Sykes. Here, real quick. Thank you so much to all of our corporate sponsors, community, and music support. And as always, go Mustangs!
No, you're fine, dude. Your shots have been good. This is your first time there at the West Up Cam. It's not easy. I've done close. And also, it's not fucking, this transmission's a shit. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the transmission. Take a look. No, you're good. I checked. Yeah. See how hot it is. It's fine right now. Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. It's still got a battery. This thing's gonna go into
Now, taking the field is the 12-time national champion Golden Motion dance team. Golden Motion is under the direction from Mrs. Blair. This week, Golden Motion is performing a palm routine to Runaway Baby.
The wind. I can hear it right now. The wind interference. Yeah, it was real bad.
Cassie Wiggins will get ready to tell he is.
Well, back here at Birdville ISD Stadium with the Grapevine Mustangs holding on to a 17-13 lead after the first half of play. Mustangs got 2 touchdowns right out of the gate. They allowed a defensive touchdown and a penalty-infused drive defensively allowed Birdville to score, but a late field goal from Grapevine puts them up 17-13. Your overall thoughts in the first half, what you saw from Grapevine? Let's start with the offensive side of things.
Yeah, Grapevine offense looked really good. Obviously, moving the ball quickly, go 2 for 2 on their first 2 drives, and then on the third one, really a self-inflicted penalty on their own, just getting the ball stripped from them. Offensively, Grapevine doing a really good job so far, distributing the ball, that controlled chaos that Coach Smith talked so highly about before the season.
So it'll be Birdville to get the football out of the second half, as Grapevine got the opening drive and took it 85 yards for a touchdown.
Camera 2, you must be right under.
So after a huge comeback last week for the Hawks, they're going to have to come back again. Not as big as that deficit last week. Last week they were down 20-0 to Crowley. In the second quarter, they scored 34 unanswered before ultimately winning that one by about a touchdown.
Will be interesting to see what Grapevine does defensively coming out of the half. Again, not much on the ground for Birdville so far this game, but might be something that they want to establish as we get deeper into the second half. With the clock dwindling down, this game can get away from you if you get a couple first downs.
Well, back to send this one deep is Austin Schilling. And he will send this one into the end zone. And it will be Birdville who starts 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And really offensively, it was a tough go for this Birdville offense. Their only points on the defensive touchdown. They did punch one in towards the end of the second quarter, but a lot of penalties helped them. This Grapevine defense looked really strong in that those first 2 quarters.
Yeah, potentially a tale of 2 halves here. Again, that's why I said it's so critical for Grapevine to force a 3-and-out and get off the field with no points allowed here. Get your offense a chance and get Jalen Holmes in that exciting Mustang offense that we've seen this year try to do their best to punch it in the end zone.
Oh, well, here we go. Zach Wells is going to hand it off on 1st down, as that's really been the MO for this Hawks offense on 1st down, running the football. They give it to Christian Cargbo, and he will pick up just about 3 yards. This third quarter brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. It's just underway here in the third quarter. Mustangs looking for their first win of the season and their first win since the end of the 2023 year.
We're on camera 1. Camera 1's live.
2nd and 7 from the right hash. Another handoff for the Hawks, and back to the 30-yard line is Cargbo.
Yeah, Grapevine doing a good job tonight. Not to cut you off there, Brendan, just really impressed with what I'm seeing from the interior of this Grapevine defensive line. Really doing a good job of sticking their foot in the ground, shedding the blocks, and getting the tackles in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage at the very least.
Now, this is a veteran defense. In fact, the majority are seniors. There's a couple of juniors sprinkled in. You got Lucas Manderville and Cedric Hicks there on the defensive line, but a lot of experience in that defensive unit. Wells to throw on the run. It is caught on the far side of the field for a 1st down. Jaeger Sides has got it out of the H-back position, and they will move the chains for a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, there's kind of that. We saw that in the first couple drives from Birdville. It's a quick snap and a little pump fake to the left, rolling out to the right. That levels flood concept is really effective, especially against man coverage.
Now they go with trips on the far side of the field. Wells in shotgun. He hands it off, and again, it is Cargbo. Dances around, but only gets about 3 yards. So to your point, the interior defense for the Mustangs is not allowing much. Everything that has been successful has been on the outside.
Yeah, Cedric Hicks right there on the play. As we watch the replay, here just does a really good job of striking the center and separating to make the tackle.
2nd down, Wells has got a man open on the sideline. Ball is caught into the inside to the 30-yard line. Braylon Montoya is brought down, and a big gain on 1st down there from the Hawks.
Yeah, just a quick little hitter out to the outside. Had more numbers out there, and as we know, football is a numbers game. you catch the ball with leverage and another blocker, it could be off to the races.
So best offensive drive that we've seen so far tonight from the Hawks. Another quick screen to the far side of the field. Tristan Spain has got it, but immediately dragged down by Harrison Bargy.
Good job rallying to the ball right there. And that's another thing. Both defenses, not only Grapevine tonight, doing a really good job rally tackling, gang tackling to the football. A lot of hustle from guys kind of subbing in and out, whether you're in there for 3 or 4 plays in a row or just coming in for 1 or 2. Both of these defenses doing a really good job of just running to the football.
Wells with Cargbo to his right on 2nd down and 9. Blitz coming from the blind side. The throw over the top of the intended receiver on that second slant. It was Jack Subject. But the throw high, but now a flag. I missed the flag in the backfield.
We got a quarterback's helmet off, which brings in number 10, Gus Dykes. We saw him go 1 for 1 on a pass attempt earlier in the game, which was resulted in some positive yards. It looks like Dykes is going to jog back off. I think with a penalty, you get to stay on the field. Looks like to be a roughing the passer on Grapevine.
I didn't see the number, but that is another personal foul penalty, and that's at least 3 tonight, I believe, for Grapevine, and something they've absolutely got to clean up. Ryan Smith, the head coach, over to talk with this official. So Birdville, the beneficiary there of that penalty. And so they've got it 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Wells fires quickly off the helmet of his intended receiver. And falling down, that's Tristan Spain, who's having a hard time getting up.
Yeah, a little too much mustard on that one by Wells. I mean, good ball. Just, again, a 1 ball right on the money. As we see a replay right here, just goes off the hands, off the helmet of number 7, Tristan Spain, again right there. And probably one that Spain would tell you he should and would have caught.
Yeah, he got hit hard, too, by Jalen Carson after that one popped off of his fingertips. So 2nd down and 10. There's the handoff. Cargbo. He is met immediately at the line of scrimmage, and there you see Cooper Towery, Tatum Evans, Luke Gormley all charging in on the tackle. So 3rd down and 8, or make it 7, from just outside the 10-yard line. It'll take the 3 to get a 1st down.
Yeah, tough spot to score from right here, kind of outside. If you can pick up this 1st down, you feel really good about 1st and goal inside the 4, or inside the 3, rather, a little bit closer from up here in the booth. But big play for both teams right here.
3rd down. Receiver in motion is George Garrett. He's been quiet tonight. Wells looking left. He's looking that way for Garrett. He is in some trouble and just has to get rid of the football. Outstanding pursuit from the Grapevine defense. Tatum Evans gets the hit on the quarterback Wells, and they will force a field goal.
Yeah, going to be a long field goal attempt right here, especially in high school football. But great job again by Grapevine. Just, again, I've said it a million times tonight, but I'm so impressed, especially going from last year to this year. This Grapevine defensive line just looks totally revamped, re-energized, and it doesn't matter really who they sub in and out, but every unit just running to the football.
About a 28-yard field goal. The kick is blocked. It is blocked and picked up by the Mustangs, and they've got a chance to take this the other way. Staying the sidelines and tight roping. It's Cooper Towery. He's going to take it all the way. A special teams touchdown for the Mustangs.
What a play by Towery and company to return that one all the way to the house. I think the touchdown is going to stand. I think the referees are also going to give him a flag, 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct for diving in the end zone. I could be wrong here, but I believe with a flag thrown right on the goal line, that's what's going to be the call.
You had Cooper diving into the end zone. The touchdown is going to stand. The PAT unit is already out. There is a flag now, but there's no indication yet of what the penalty is. That flag is still laying there on the 1-yard line.
And both coaching staffs were irate. I think Grapevine probably with Towery, makes a great play and then dives into the end zone. They're not going to be excited about that. And then I think Birdville, as we see on the replay, if we can get that up going, you can kind of see towards the end of the play here, Towery as he goes from the 30, 20, 10, and then dives into the end zone.
This touchdown, I think, is coming off the board. Boy, I couldn't hear exactly what that call was. Grapevine's going to have the football. Did they call this penalty at the 1 and are moving it back?
I have no idea. We will know soon enough.
Well, both teams are together trying to come up with a game plan, but it's going to go to the 16-yard. That has to be what they did. They had to have called the penalty at the 1-yard line. And then they're having him come back to the 16. Here's the replay. You see clearly going to be a touchdown. Towery celebrates by jumping into the end zone. They throw the flag. And so it'll be no touchdown in 1st and 10 at the 16. What a bizarre turn here. Well, there's the first play after the penalty. It's given to Sanchez. The quarterback right now is Ty Johnson. And Sanchez picks up a few yards. So from a sure touchdown, there's just been a bunch of crazy things that have happened tonight and really taken some points off the board.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Both of these, Grapevine guys can, sling the ball a little bit. You never really know what you're going to get with Johnson in there. But again, right here, especially with that penalty just being so unfortunate, you're really going to be kicking yourself if you can't get in the end zone for 6 here.
It is 2nd down and about 8. As it is still Ty Johnson, who does have a touchdown pass today. Hard snap. They hand it off to Graham. Graham trying to get past that line of scrimmage. He looked for a moment like he might have some grass in front of him, but closing in is Jacob Martinez to make the tackle.
And now you got your third manageable, which you've done a really good job of tonight, of staying in front of the sticks and putting yourself in a situation. But it is so difficult down here. The space is so condensed. Obviously, the defense is going to play up a little bit. Going to be interesting to see what Coach Smith and the Mustangs go with here.
Mustangs do have that 4-point lead, so quick math tells you that the field goal gives you the touchdown lead, but you're right. It was a sure touchdown after the blocked field goal that gets taken away because of the personal foul, and you do not want to leave those extra points on the board. They will hand it off on 3rd down. Graham breaks through into the 2nd level and into the end zone. Grapevine does get their touchdown, and they are now up by 2 scores.
Yeah, Grapevine's got to feel like that's a little bit of a ball don't lie moment. You kind of earned it twice right there. First one negated by the touchdown, but what a great run right there by bowling ball Jake Graham. Again, just a sophomore, but just tremendous energy that this kid runs with tonight, and that's pay dirt for him and earned every bit as we will see on the replay after this extra point.
Extra point on the way and good, and the Mustangs have a 24-13 lead as it's a 16-yard touchdown drive capped off by the run from Jake Graham. 24-13 our score. Mustangs on top. This is a Thursday edition of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Shop Stacy Furniture and Design, the family-owned furniture store that North Texans trust for the best selection of quality furniture.
Our showrooms are curated with a sharp focus on design, like this new, beautiful 3-piece sectional.
New collections are arriving daily. With our price match guarantee, you can always rest assured that you will never overpay for furniture from Stacy's.
Our family's commitment to offering the best in quality, style, and affordability is truly what sets us apart. Remember, you're shopping at Stacy's, you're shopping with family,
and you're not burning money.
Back here at Birdville ISD Stadium. Classic Chevrolet brings you the 3rd quarter as Thursday edition of Mustang Friday Night. 24-13 Mustangs as they will send this one deep, and it's going to go out of bounds. And so it will be decent field position for Birdville as they've got to come out and respond.
Yeah, this is a big drive right here, especially for Birdville. You know, you don't want to let this game get away from you, and I kind of alluded to it a little bit coming out of the half. This is just something that the way Grapevine's offense is rolling right now, scoring in a multitude of ways, special teams, offense, it doesn't matter. Again, you feel like one or two more touchdowns by Grapevine without any points of your own, and this one is going to get out of hand in a hurry.
It's an 11-point lead now, and it's a game that Grapevine has really controlled from the opening kick. 4-point game at halftime, but Grapevine has that two-score advantage right now. So Zach Wells in the shotgun to try and get something going offensively. Out of the backfield, they're going to go, actually it's a wide receiver screen. George Garrett, he is one of their most explosive receivers, but he has just not had much going for him here tonight.
Yeah, you know, again, tremendous job not only by the interior of this defensive line to get off the blocks, but really everybody in a white uniform tonight. Gang tackling, rallying to the football, not getting out of place, you know, putting a hat on the hat, doing all the little things well to keep your offense on the field and score, and obviously giving them a chance doing their job tonight.
They really have not allowed very many big plays. Playing strong defense right now. Second down, they hand it off. This time there's some space up the gut. And a good run there from Anthony White. It's still going to be a little short of the first down. It'll be third and about a yard, maybe two.
Yeah, this feels like a really big play if you're a Hawk right now. I mean, you gotta get something. Can't go 3 and out, especially after a big offensive drive right there by the Mustangs. Got to get this first down here if you're Birdville.
3 receivers on the near side. Wells with White to his right. He will hand it off. White goes right to left, and he's stuffed in the backfield. Luke Gormley there makes the tackle, and it is 4th down and 1, and the punt team is coming out.
That just feels like a huge win right there if you're Grapevine, and they have every reason to be as excited as they are. Barring something crazy, you are going to get a punt formation here as we see the replay. Even battling through maybe even a little bit of a holding call, but Towery and Gormley and those guys just gang tackling to the football like they've been doing all night long.
Yeah, Gormley with a strong tackle, and now Birdville hustles to the line of scrimmage. It is 4th and short. We'll see what they elect to do. Everybody is up on that line of scrimmage for Grapevine, but Birdville's going to call timeout. They did not like the look they had, which makes you think they had something up their sleeve. So they will call the timeout, and we'll step aside with them. 24-13 is our score. This is a Thursday night edition of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Can't get enough. No. Just can't get enough. Come on, let's go. Can't get enough. Start the show. Can't get enough. Yeah. Just can't get enough.
Try it again on 4th and short. The snap's back, and they will punt it away. As there's a flag as soon as that one is kicked. A fair catch called and made by Luke Stewart, and it's turned into a kind of a flag party.
Yeah, really odd flag placement from the back judge behind the punt returner. Don't know if I've seen that at least in a long while. They're going to get together and talk about it a little bit. As Coach Smith out there for Birdville talking to one of the head officials. Let's see what the call is.
They're going to call 12 players an illegal substitution on Grapevine. So a team with 11 penalties last week. They've struggled with the penalties here today, but still have the lead.
Yeah, that's going to give Birdville new life. That's going to be enough for a first down. So the defense has to go back there on the field and, try to settle things down a little bit. Doing their job for the most part, just these little ticky-tack penalties. Again, it's early in the season. Some teams still kind of working out the kinks a little bit. These non-district games are great for that. But, again, definitely not what you want if you're Grapevine.
So a fresh set of downs for the Hawks, who have been thrown lifeline after lifeline tonight. They will start this, second part of their drive at the 44. They will hand it off to Anthony White, who's trying to get around the edge, and he will not. Cooper Towery makes the play, but another flag, and Towery can't believe it.
He kind of thought about that a little bit. I think they're going to get Towery for a horse collar. You don't see it really unless it's egregious. Grapevine coaching staff is, again, irate. They might have an argument here. It's just tough. You know, you're coming from the backside. You're doing everything you can to make a tackle. It's a 50-50 judgment call, unfortunately. I think it's going to go the way of Birdville, which is going to give them 15 extra yards.
It's a slight miracle, I feel like, that Grapevine has the 11-point lead with the penalties tonight.
Yeah, it's just, again, and it's, you know, things that are fixable. I think it's something that Coach Smith, regardless of the result tonight, is going to get, you know, with his team tomorrow morning during film and just kind of emphasize to his guys, we can clean this thing up.
And you'd love to be able to tell that lesson after you pick up a win. It always makes it a little bit easier to send it home. But first down at the 41 for Birdville. Play clock's at 10. Zach Wells been stifled for most of the night. He's going to try and take a shot over the middle of the field, and the catch is made by Braylon Montoya. No, excuse me, that is George Garrett.
That's a great throw and catch right there. He kind of threw him open a little bit. As soon as he broke, that ball was in the air. That's called exact trust in your guy right there to go make a play.
And I was right the first time. That was Braylon Montoya. Here on first down, they're going to get a penalty flag, and ball was intended for Jake Subject, and we may have a pass interference.
If it's not a pass interference, it's going to be 12 men off the field. Didn't catch the number. I believe it was number 30, Jack Cockerham, running off the field for Grapevine. I'm not sure if he got off. For sure we'll be on Grapevine. We're just going to see what the penalty is.
Oh, they call it an eligible man downfield on Birdville. But the penalties decline, so they're going to take the result of the play and make it 2nd and 10 instead of 1st and 15.
Yeah, that is something officials have kind of been taught this offseason, especially on these screens, kind of watch these leaky offensive linemen. Try to get out in front of their skis a little bit. That's something that, again, is a backbreaker for an offense because most of the time it results in a really positive play for the offense.
2nd down and 10. In motion is Montoya. Handoff is to White. Skips to his right, gets past the 20 and down around the 17-yard line.
Again, we kind of alluded to it, just, you know, how fast these second halves in high school football can go. Dwindling down to about 4 minutes and some change left here in quarter number 3.
Weird snap there. It looked like everybody was moving, and I think we are going to get a false start. That could have been called, I think, on maybe 2 or 3 different offensive linemen.
Yeah, not a lot of rhythm in this game right now. It seems, you know, kind of what you said earlier, Brendan, a little bit of a laundry fest out there. I think both of these coaches would probably want it a little bit cleaner. And again, just kind of going back and forth with a who's who this game with the flags.
Just under 4 minutes. That clock begins to run again. Left in the 3rd quarter. Grapevine has never trailed. Game's been tied once at 7. Rolling to his right, Wells. Now here comes the blitz, and he is going to be taken out. I think the ball came out. The ball came out, and the Mustangs think they have it. There's no official signal. I think the official on this side said he was down, so it's going to be a sack, and it's going to be 4th down, and another penalty as we've got a scrum after the play.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely multiple flags on multiple guys from 2 different teams. Grapevine thinks they have the ball. There were some extracurriculars the other way, and then another flag just gets thrown as I'm speaking. You might want to order a pizza, folks. It's going to take a while to get this one sorted out.
Take a look at what happens here. You see Wells in trouble. As it was Tatum Evans the first to get there. It was finished by Cooper Towery, or excuse me, Harrison Bargy and Cedric Hicks. And we're still waiting on the officials to finish their conversation here to try and decipher what the penalties are. There's I think, at least 2.
We'll set the over at 2.5.
2.5. All right.
Yeah, again, still probably deciding, one, if it was a fumble or not. I know there was for sure some unsportsmanlike stuff after the play. You kind of had a couple Grapevine players holding up. Towery obviously very excited there, and then you kind of saw a couple Hawks get in the mix as well. Not too happy with the result. So, again, here comes the result as we wait patiently for what's about to unfold.
The officials are going to walk over and explain it to both of these coaches. It's Ryan Smith in his first year for Grapevine. It's Chris Smith in his second year. And this one is going to be pushed back. It's going to go on Birdville, whatever it is. Boy, and they are going way back. They get him for 2 personal fouls here?
That's what it looks like. Coach Smith getting the explanation. Obviously, we don't have ears down there. We can't hear. But it looks to be, I mean, the 4th down marker. We don't even know what down it is up here.
Was able to catch there. Anthony Wells was, boy, he's been disqualified too. They have just said that the starting running back, Anthony White, has been tossed from this game. So a massive break for Grapevine. They're going to get the football back. It's going to be a punt on 4th and a mile. Luke Stewart is deep. Special teams has been an issue for Birdville. As here comes the punt. It's a short one. And it's going to bounce right around the 20-yard line and then get a Birdville roll. In fact, a really good roll. I don't know how that's even possible. I know I didn't do great in physics as a kid, but that was a difficult way for that ball to roll.
Yeah, you're taking every single inch of that right there if you're Birdville. Kind of a little pooch kick almost. I think that took its first bounce around the 30-31. It looks like they're going to spot that ball right shy of the 12-yard line. So ends up being a great punt right there for Birdville.
24-13, Grapevine on top here at Birdville. .309 left here in the third quarter, and it will be Jalen Holmes who comes out to lead this drive. It was a 16-yard touchdown drive for Grapevine their last time out. Snap to Holmes. They hand it off in the backfield to Sanchez. He is immediately brought down. It's been Sanchez and Graham who've pretty much split time right down the middle. Graham's got himself a touchdown. Graham has scored on the ground. Jalen Holmes has scored on the ground. Luke Stewart had a touchdown catch from Ty Johnson. And then the field goal from Austin Schilling. That's the scoring tonight for Grapevine. I made a mention earlier that the game was tied at 7. It never was. Birdville missed the extra point. So this game has never been tied. It's been Grapevine pretty much from the jump. They will hand it off, and that defense not fooled this time by that read option. Sanchez thrown in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a good job right there by number 11 for Birdville right there, James Mweri. Just a good job of not getting outside of his leverage, outside of his contain, and really forcing Holmes to make a play there.
So 3rd down and a long way, as you see. They're in the backfield. James Mweri, nobody got a hand on him. Holmes rolling to his left. He's got some space, fires into traffic and incomplete. Closest man to him was Ryland Goen, but that's a 3 and out for the first time tonight.
Yeah, again, anytime you can make it very deep into the third quarter without punting, you're doing a good job. The result of the play, obviously not what they wanted, but no turnovers deep in your red area. Got to count it as a win to keep that clock moving a little bit. Now you need your defense to bow up a little bit.
I guess actually technically the second punt, since Holmes had the one that went down to the 1 yard line. I don't think he's going to get it to the 1 yard line this time. as he will punt from his own end zone. And look out, he just gets it off, and this one might have been touched. It is out of bounds around the 20-yard line. We'll see officially where this one is marked, and they are letting the official kind of navigate his way through that Birdville sideline, and we'll see where he officially stops, and he will stop at the 16-yard line. Boy, yeah, tough punt for Holmes, who's had really two polar opposite punts and some second life for Birdville. They're not out of this game yet, despite really not playing great football tonight.
No, anytime you, again, like I just said, you got 1st and 10, it's your first time touching the ball this drive, and you're inside your own 20-yard line. A beginning red zone drive, you got to take advantage of it if you're a Hawk right here.
97 ticks left in the third quarter. Only scoring in the second half belongs to the Mustangs. They hand it off on first down. It's Cardbow. And I feel like I've seen that exact play about 10 times tonight. There is a late moment there where there might have been a flag, but no call.
Again, Harrison Bargy and this Grapevine defensive line, again, accompanied by number 33, Blake Johnson, C0, Tatum Evans, bunch of guys in and around the football. That inside zone stuff for Birdville is absolutely dead so far into this third quarter.
They keep trying it. It is 2nd down and 9. 1 minute left in the third quarter. Wells gonna pass. Rolls to his right. Look out, he's got Towery right on him, and all he can do is throw it into the Grapevine medical tent. He had tremendous pressure. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9. And we'll see how quickly Towery's able to get into the backfield.
Yeah, again, you see just Towery screaming off that edge. Has a running back out there trying to chip, but does a good job of just shedding that and putting the pressure on Wells. Has no choice but to just chunk it out of bounds.
Cooper Towery has been absolutely everywhere tonight. He has got to be public enemy number 1 for any Birdville fan tonight. He's doing it offensively, special teams. He's had a big play. He's played well defensively as well. 3rd and 9 from the 15-yard line. Wells is going to dump it off and get it to his wide receiver in Montoya, who's going to have to make a bunch of guys miss. He lost the football. Ball's on the ground, and Jack Cockrum comes up with it. The Mustangs force the turnover, and no points on a drive that started on the 16-yard line for the Hawks.
Yeah, you're going to see on replay right here kind of a RPO look from Birdville. Wells does a good job of distributing the ball here really quickly to number 6, Braylon Montoya again, but just kind of gets popped out here, number 21 for Grapevine. Linnell Randolph does a good job of pursuing the football, and then I think it was
Towery.
8. Yep, Cooper Towery rips the ball out. Just Johnny on the spot right there to give the ball to the Mustangs.
Well, Cooper Towery is working his tail off tonight. First down, they're going to hand it to Jake Graham as this becomes an offensive drive where you really want to work through some clock here. And that replay, by the way, that we just saw, brought to you by Graymark.
And I think that might take the quarter right here for Grapevine. I think you're good going into the fourth with this lead. Again, no hurry getting up to the line. About 5 seconds difference between play clock and game clock. I think you can raise those 4s up if you're a Hawk fan or a Mustang fan as we head into the fourth quarter.
Well, Grapevine, the 24-13 lead this third quarter, brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. We will step aside and be back for the fourth quarter. Grapevine has a 2-score lead. They lead at 24-13 as this is a Thursday edition of Grapevine Friday night here on Tradio.
Mustang Friday Night is proudly presented by the Grubbs family of dealerships.
Can't get enough. No. Just can't get enough. Come on, let's go. Can't get enough.
Grapevine leads at 24-13 as we make our way to the fourth quarter. This is Mustang Friday Night, presented by the Grubbs family of dealerships. As Jalen Holmes has the football, 2nd down and 6 here from about the 14-yard line. Nobody in the backfield. Holmes, he's going to run the draw. He pushes forward to about maybe the line of scrimmage. Be 2nd down and about 6. Rather 3rd down, excuse me, Austin.
And again, you got a double-digit lead here. You can't give Birdville anything more than you've already given them. That's got to be what Coach Smith has told his group of guys in the huddle right here. Even if we punt it, let's run 40 seconds a pop, and let's let our defense continue to do what they've been doing all night long.
Mustangs 2 touchdowns to start the ball game. They've scored 1 since those first 2. Looking to pick up a big 3rd down here. They go to Graham, and I think he tripped out of the backfield. He did.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just kind of got caught up in the old turf monster, undefeated since the beginning of time. But again, nothing to panic about right here. Get a good punt off and let your defense go to battle for you.
So Holmes back to punt. His last punt only went about 10 yards. So he's going to try and get something down the field here as the return man standing at the 40-yard line is Braylon Montoya. Seven. And Holmes gets off a much better kick here, but still going to go out of bounds before it gets to the 40. So field position game over the last couple of drives has belonged to Birdville, but they have not been able to convert it into points. 24-13, Grapevine leads it. This is Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
American Power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world. Limited time. A special selection of new Chevys. More than anyone. All priced below market value. Plus, pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com.
On 1st down, they hand the football off. And Christian Cargbo is going to pick up a 1st down. That's really, without a doubt, his most impressive run of the night.
Yeah, definitely took off, right there inside zone, which has been dead really all night long, but did a good job of shaking off some would-be tacklers and enough to get it 2nd and very manageable right here for the Hawks.
It's Pat White State Farm 1st down. No, not a. I thought they moved the chains. They didn't. It's 2nd down and short. Now they will hand it off again to Cargbo, and this time they get that Pat White State Farm 1st down. So fresh set of downs for Birdville, doing anything they can to make this a one-possession game, and oh boy, we got a man down.
Yeah, a little bit of a Charlie horse, I think. It was kind of grabbing that calf a little bit. Looks like the trainers are going to come out there. At least that's what we hope, as we kind of wind down a little bit with about 9 minutes and some change left here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, they'll check on the player. 24-13, and we'll go ahead and step aside. 9:39 left. The Birdville player down. It's an 11-point lead for Grapevine here on Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Introducing the Grubbs Lifetime Warranty. Choosing Grubbs just got easier. The Grubbs Lifetime Warranty is here. Eligible vehicles now include lifetime powertrain coverage at no extra cost. Unlimited time, unlimited miles, 100% parts and labor. Now on all new and select pre-owned vehicles at every Grubbs dealership. Not all vehicles qualify. Non-transferable. Excludes commercial use. See Grubbs.com for terms and coverage.
The injured Birdville player off the field on his own power, and so that is a good sign. So it's 3rd down and 1 for the Hawks. A field goal will help them too, but they've got a ways to go, you would think, till they're comfortable with that. Just trying to make this a one-possession game. In motion is Garrett. They're going to go to him. He's got room. He's got a first. He's got the 20-yard line before he's dragged down around the 19. So a well-designed play as coming from the near side to the opposite side of the field was George Garrett to move the chains.
Yeah, and every time if you really, kind of look at this intricately, anytime Birdville has a guy in motion, most of the time the ball is delivered quickly right to that motion guy, and they've done a good job getting themselves out in space and letting their playmakers do the work.
It works almost like a jet sweep almost, a receiver going around to the other side of the formation. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Wells at the 25, he stands and takes the shotgun snap. He hands it off. Cargbo with a solid gain to about the 8-yard line.
Yeah,
or excuse me, to an 8-yard gain to about the 12-yard line.
And a good run right there, and it looks like Birdville kind of wants to play hurry up a little bit, something we really haven't seen all night from them.
Mustangs get their final guy off the field to avoid the penalty. They hand it off to Cargbo again, and he will go nowhere. Tatum Evans drags him down from behind.
Yeah, good job right there. Again, by this Grapevine group, kind of bending, not breaking. They might get a little leaky at times, but have done a phenomenal job right now boxing everything up, at least on the inside.
Here's that second down play, and boy, there's just nowhere, there's no hole once you get to the line of scrimmage. As Evans as well as Cooper Towery on the tackle. As that was your gray mark replay. As here we go on 3rd down. They wanted to go to the screen now towards the end zone to George Garrett. Good coverage from Maddox Broyles, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, had a wheel route. What thought was going to be open, but that pressure in his face made it really difficult to set his feet and make a good throw. Good coverage all the way around by defense again. Forcing a 4th and 4, got to go for it here if you're Birdville. Doesn't necessarily end the game by any means if you don't get this, but definitely makes that hill a lot steeper to climb if you're a Hawk right now.
Well, if they felt comfortable in kicking the field goal, again, that's not the end of the world to make it a one-possession game. But here's that pressure. Wells just getting rid of it. And now a timeout is called on the field. And I believe that's going to be a Birdville timeout. A 24-13 lead. And well, it's interesting to me, we'll leave it here, but is it maybe a case of not wanting to go to a field goal? You feel like this is a little bit too long of a distance, or is it more of a strategy thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look too long of a distance, but the operation of a field goal in high school is so much easier said than done. You got to have a good snap, good hold, good kick, all before you've got a Grapevine group right here that has already blocked one tonight. So
and come
again,
close to a couple.
Absolutely. So really want to be sure of it here going down and make sure you get everything dialed up, essentially what you want. And really, this is something you look back at. Both teams are probably thankful that a timeout is called because you really want to be sure of what you're doing here.
So the offense stays on the field for the Hawks. It is 4th down and 4. It is marked at the 14-yard line. You got to get all of the 10 for a first. Wells, low snap, picks it off the turf. Thought about the end zone, now going to have to try and make something happen. He's just improvising, and he's got nowhere to go. The Grapevine defense gets home and forces the stop, and another turnover on downs.
Number 45, Cedric Hicks right there is going to go clean up the mess that was out there. Does a great job of just kind of gang tackling. You thought for a second Wells was going to escape right there. But again, if we can look at here our gray mark insurance instant replay, just a great job by the Mustang defense as a whole.
Yeah, once Wells broke that initial containment, you thought maybe that he was going to have a chance. But you get a pause of Taden Sneed there. You get Cedric Hicks coming along. Luke Gormley showing up as well, and the Mustangs have the football. They've got it at the 16-yard line. Hand off to Jake Graham, and whenever you're worn down as a defense, it can't be a whole lot of fun in the fourth quarter trying to bring down that young man.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you kind of take a peek at the clock. If you're Grapevine, you got 7 minutes, 20 seconds and counting. Again, 40-second play clock in Texas high school football. You got to think here, you get 3 or 4 first downs, you're feeling really good about ending this game with a W.
So the Mustangs' last win, November the 2nd of 2023, trying to erase that right here. Got a 24-13 lead over Birdville, and there's going to be a false start. So this is going to kind of get you back to that original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, again, when you're expecting to run the football, which I would imagine Grapevine is, if not, doing extension of the run game things, those little kind of quick hitters, little curls, little stops, things like that, you just got to catch the ball inbounds, keep that clock churning a little bit. But a good job again so far from this Birdville defense, really just to bend and not break, especially here late.
Well, the clock is a 12th man for Grapevine right now. 6:45 left. Play clock coming up on 5 seconds. Blitz being shown. Holmes is going to throw the football. Looking downfield, and he's just going to have to eat it. That pressure got to him, and Holmes never actually went down, but he's going to get sacked.
Yeah, again, not what you want offensively right there for Grapevine, but credit to Holmes for not panicking, not making a turnover deep in his own red area. But something that is a sign of a veteran quarterback right there. Just taking a sack, live to play another down, and let that clock just keep ticking.
Yeah, you know the math's on your side at this point. Not that you're wanting to completely take your foot off the gas, but a sack is much more palatable than a turnover in this situation. So 3rd down and a mile. As Grapevine's got this clock under 6 minutes. They have not allowed anything in the second half. Holmes going to fire towards the sideline. The pass is caught. A huge hit made. The catch is made by Rylan Goen. They took a little bit of a chance there. Picked up a big chunk of it, but not all. It's 4th down.
Yeah, good job right there to just catch and know you're going to get popped. And as this clock will tick on the snap, we'll see what they elect to do here on 4th.
Well, they're trying to maybe draw someone off sides as they went with the shotgun. Remember, Holmes is the punter, so they can easily just switch that up if they need to. And now they're going to call a timeout, and Grapevine's going to talk it over. So most likely you're going to punt this away with 5:45 left here in the 4th quarter. It would be a great time for a Pat White State Farm first down. At 4th and 3, I don't think you're going to snap this ball in your own territory and go for it, though.
No, I would imagine the play here is to kick the ball as far as you can play. Let that clock, again, dwindle down a little bit, and hopefully Jalen Holmes can have some of that first quarter magic when we saw that punt roll down all the way to the 1-yard line.
And maybe the Mustangs came out. We're trying to get Birdville to jump off sides. Maybe get a free play, get the free first down, but really did the last couple of possessions. They haven't moved the change, but they've taken plenty of time off the clock. They got to stop defensively, and so things are staying in their favor right now. 5:45 away from that first one of the season, and so they will come out, and it's a bit of a weird formation. They've got Towery in the backfield, and he's going to keep it, and he's going to run it, and he's going to be short of the first down.
We're going to see where they spot him. We got both teams pointing different ways. Going to be close here.
The official on the near side closest to the Birdville sideline says that is not a first down, and that will be Birdville football. So an interesting decision. They wanted to kind of go for the jugular here. And here's the play again with Towery on the keeper. Well, they brought in Cedric Hicks, too, to be the lead blocker. He was able to take out one man, but
yeah, it looks like he's just short there.
I think that's the right spot, too, was looking where they actually marked it, and I think that is exactly where Cooper Towery written down. So that changes things a little bit. Birdville's got themselves another opportunity to score from deep inside Grapevine territory. Wells over the middle. Pass is caught and immediately dragged down. It's Jake's subject. And a solid gain on first. It'll be 2nd and short.
Yeah, Birdville's got to go quick here. You're right at 5 minutes on the clock, a little bit over, and that clock's not ticking any slower.
They'll hand it off to Cargbo. He's able to pick up the first inside the 10-yard line and finally brought down. So a fresh set of downs. There's also only one timeout for Birdville, so that plays a factor into it too. But if they can punch it in here, it really does change the complexion of the game. First down and goal. Cargbo inside the 5. Game clock under 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's must-score situation right here for Birdville, and it must go for it on 4th down as well. I can't see them electing to kick a field goal here. You really want to get 6 points. Give yourself a chance to make kind of a one-stop and one-score deal this late in the ball game.
2nd and goal from the 4. Hand off to Cargbo. He runs into that line of scrimmage. He is going to break through and get into the end zone. Oh, I don't know how he snuck through, but he did, and he has got Birdville to within 5.
Yeah, going to be interesting here. I would imagine it's a go-for-2 situation here for Birdville to make it a 3-point game, and it looks like I'd be correct on that one. I think they're going to keep the offense out here to see if they can punch in this 2-point conversion. Huge play right here for the Grapevine defense to keep Birdville at least a touchdown distance.
They bring in another skill player in George Garrett off the sideline, so they've got 4 receivers. Got Cargbo, who just scored, who's in the backfield. Wells rolling to his right. He can throw it or he can run it. He tucks it and he scores. The 2-point conversion is good, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, not sure what that could have been. His helmet did come off. Maybe a targeting. I don't know. I couldn't see it from the naked eye. Hopefully we get a Gray Mark Insurance replay coming up shortly so we can absolutely see that one. But nonetheless, that too is more than likely going to stand. And don't look now, but Birdville is right back into this ball game, just a stop away from getting their offense a chance.
And they called a face mask penalty, it looks like, on Grapevine. Here's that Gray Mark Insurance replay, and you get the very end of it there where Wells is in the end zone, and then it's hard to tell why or where the penalty was with so many bodies around. And boy, things have really changed here as Grapevine had the 24-13 lead. They go for it from deep in their own territory, and just a few plays later, the Hawks punch it in. So 4:23 left, generally not a time where you're thinking onside kick, but you only have the one timeout. Birdville's defense here, especially in the second half, has been solid. They've only given up the 1 touchdown. That's the first points that they've scored in the second half. But since those first few drives, the defenses have really settled in.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you're in the nitty-gritty of the game now. You got 4 minutes and some change. For Grapevine, your goal is first downs, and let's walk out of here. For Birdville, it's all gas, no brakes. You're putting the pressure on, absolutely. Trying to do anything you can, strip the ball, claw for it, anything you can to give your offense another chance before this time expires in this one.
So Birdville's going to kick off from the Grapevine 45-yard line after the penalty. So field position will obviously be key. .423 left, and we'll see exactly how Birdville plays this. They're lining up like it's going to be a potential onside. Let's see what happens. They will go onside, and this one's loose. And who's got it? Who's got it? Birdville does.
My goodness, that was a beautiful onside kick. That second bounce was one of the higher and tougher ones I've seen in my years of calling it. We're going to get a Gray Mark Insurance replay right here, but such a tough job to recover these type of kicks. They teach you to jump on it, but that second bounce is like a short hop in baseball, just so hard to kind of let the ball play you. And Birdville now in the driver's seat right here to not only tie this game, but potentially take the lead.
Brody Henderson had it bounce off him. He nearly got there and recovered it, but that second bounce was right at the 10-yard mark. That was an outstanding onside kick from Bryce Frederick. So Birdville has the football, and all of a sudden they've got a chance to take the lead with 4:19 left. It was 24-13 Mustangs. They had the football just 2 possessions ago, but It is quickly switched, and there is plenty of time. Clock not a factor at all here for Birdville. 4 receivers, 2 split out to either side. They'll hand to Cargbo on first down, and all of a sudden they're finding room on the ground. They may be wearing down the Grapevine defense as Cargbo's got the first down.
Yeah, and if you're Grapevine right now, you got to dig deep, right? You got 4 minutes left. You've done a great job all night long of getting some stops. Get on the same page, rally to the football, and keep doing what you've been doing.
4 minutes left, and you see Birdville hustling to the line, but then taking their time to get the play call in. They are not in a rush at all. Same formation as the previous play. The last one went to Cargbo on the run up the middle. They will do it again. This time there's some penetration by that defense. And even though Cargbo able to avoid the first set of attackers, he is brought down by Cooper Towery around the line of scrimmage.
Cedric kicks in there as well, shedding off that center. Just makes it incredibly difficult to do anything with the inside zone right there.
3:20 is the time on the game clock. 2nd and 9, they gave him a yard. They stay in this formation. They hand it off to Cargbo, and again he's met in the backfield. Tatum Evans with some help late. And it is 3rd down and about 13. Here you see that replay. There's Evans. And then right behind him, it's Taden Sneed.
Yep, good job right there. And again, this is 4-down territory right here. If you're Birdville, you don't have to get it all right here in one play.
3rd down and long. Wells, he's going to try to get it all in one play. This one's intercepted. It is picked off by Judah Johnson. And he's going to try to go back the other way, and he will to the 35-yard line. The Mustang defense stands strong, and they force a massive turnover.
Yeah, got to be a little bit frustrated right here if you're Birdville. You didn't have to get it all in one play, but more of a great play by Johnson, just being in the right spot at the right time. You're not out of the woods yet necessarily if you are Grapevine, but you got to feel really good about moving the sticks and getting 1 or 2 first downs to put this one on ice.
Boy, there have been 2 times now that Birdville has started inside of Grapevine territory, and the Mustang defense forced a turnover. And here they get the football back after the strong return from Judah Johnson, the senior quarterback. And 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line, and now that clock does become a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely here. Now you have to almost more than likely know. We have seen this coaching staff do some things that have worked that, might not be predictable, but you got to think the Mustangs are going to keep the ball on the ground right here.
It's Holmes. Next to him, Jake Graham, and they're just going to keep the ball in the hands of the senior quarterback in Jalen Holmes. Dances around a little bit, picks up a couple of yards, but most importantly, still has the football and the clock still running.
Yeah, and you look at the timeouts right here for Birdville. Now you got to kind of get decisive of when you're going to call one, as we got an injury on the field right here for the Mustangs.
That looks to, I can't quite get the number, but as 24-21 is our score. Grapevine and Birdville. We'll take a quick break. 2:01 left in this one on Thursday night edition of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.
Shop Stacy.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Life moves fast, but protecting what matters shouldn't be complicated. At Graymark Insurance, we make home and auto coverage simple, affordable, and built around you. Old-fashioned service, uncommon speed, that's the Graymark promise. Visit mygraymark.com today and learn more. Again, that's mygraymark.com.
Back here on a Thursday edition of Mustang Friday Night, presented by the Grubbs family of dealerships. 2:05 now on the clock. They added 4 extra seconds as that was Andres Garcia Cano who was able to walk off the field on his own power. And now a timeout is called. And we will take another break. I know you wanted another one. So we officially do get to the 2-minute warning. 24-21 Grapevine here on Tradio.
Can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Come on, let's go. Can't get enough. Start the show. Can't get enough. Yeah. Just can't get enough. Oh, 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 oh.
24-21 Mustangs at the 2-minute mark. 2nd down and 6. A first down is just about the nail in the coffin. Holmes kept it himself last time for a gain of 4, and it's a formation that looks like they may be thinking the same thing here. At that 2-minute mark, it's Sanchez in the backfield, and he gets the football. He will fight for a couple of extra yards. He's going to get to the 41, and Birdville's going to use their last timeout.
Hawks defense wanted a turnover right there. They came out of the pile with the football. It's not going to be enough to convince the officials in this one as Birdville takes their 3rd and final timeout.
So now, first down pretty much ends the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You got really 2 plays to get 6 yards, but we have seen Grapevine on 4th down go for it. I think 4th and 3 is, probably the longest that we've seen them go, but with Cooper Towery kind of around the edge, that is their bread and butter. Don't put it past Coach Smith and company to pull something like that off as well.
Yeah, how they come out in this formation is going to be really important because we've seen where they've done the keeper with Holmes. We've seen it many times with Cooper Towery. You see Towery walking off and Holmes walking on, so perhaps a more traditional look for this Grapevine offense. But, yeah, 2 plays, you feel like to get 6 yards and be a happy Grapevine Thursday night going into Friday. Oh, here we go. I said 2 plays, actually 3rd down. As Holmes has got it, he'll hand it off to Sanchez. At the line of, or at the line to gain, he's going to be about a yard short. And it'll bring up a 4th down and very short. And well, it would take some guts to go for it here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not real sure. But again, it is 1 yard. You kind of tell yourself, a lot of football coaches are married to the thought of, man, if we can't get 1 yard, we don't deserve it. It looks like the offense is on the field, so we will see.
It's Holmes. He's got it. They snap it, and they're going to get a free play. They're going to get the first down. Holmes is going to take a shot. He's got Stewart open, and he just overthrows him. But the good news, the hard count works. Birdville jumps, and that should be it.
You get a hard count right there, and I mean, just credit to Grapevine right there for the hard count and everything going on right there. But the hard count really gets them, and that's so awesome for Grapevine to get them that first down.
So the Mustangs get the first down. That will most likely be their final first down of the ball game. And of course, brought to you by Pat White, State Farm Insurance. As the Mustangs never trailed in this one. The lead got down to 1 point a couple of times. But Grapevine never gave up the lead. Holmes will take the knee, and this is going to be a 70-second trip here to the end of this ball game that Grapevine fans are really going to enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. All credit to Grapevine. Their players, coaches, staff, everybody involved. It's got to feel great to, one, get a much-earned and much-deserved victory. Anytime you can get a win in a drought that has lasted for as long as it has for the Mustang program, these players and coaches, they have to feel elated.
And they could easily make the argument that they should be 2-0 with the way that they played on Friday. Really did play last Friday. Really did play well enough to win. A play clock will no longer be a factor as Jalen Holmes lets out a little bit of emotion, and he absolutely should. Enjoy this one, Mustang fans.
Just a great scene right there as we see the players, coaches, and staff just elated. They're going to shake hands here, and a great fought, hard-fought game by Birdville. Again, probably something that Coach Smith and his staff go back and look at and just address the things that they've done and easily fixable. But again, hats off to both teams tonight for a great Week 2 matchup.
Now, Grapevine officially is in the win column as they get their first win of the 2025 season, their first win since November of 2023. They moved to 1-1 on the season. Birdville falls to 1-1. What a great night here in Birdville. So that'll do it for us here this evening. For my broadcast partner, Austin Taylor, I'm Brendan Smith saying so long from Birdville as Grapevine victorious. They never trail. They hold on for a 24-21 win, and they have moved their record to 1-1. Until next week, so long. This has been a Mustang Friday night on Tradio.